We have to pretend it's 2020.
Oh, welcome to
2022. New year, new me.
Welcome to Trash Taste 2023. That feels really weird to say.
Yep, I know, right?
I still in my head, you know, every time when the new year would happen in the school, you'd write the new thing. I'm still in like 2017 in my head. Like no, it's 23. I've got to fix that.
I'm still in 2013, dude. Like,
What?
I haven't changed since then.
Honestly, I'm kind of the same. You know what's like, what do they say about like after you reach like 23 or something, then you never feel like you've like aged up anymore.
Yeah.
After that point, it's like, yeah, you're permanently just like 23, 24, I feel in my head.
That's until, I think that's until your body starts like giving up.
This is just 30s copium. I'm like, I'm still 23, right?
I'm still young.
They say that, right? They say you're still 20, right? You're 30, right?
Am I right, fellow kids?
I guess I should start the year off with a take.
All right, what's your take, Connor?
All right, so my take. So I was at Didus and Emily's house, and he asked if I wanted anything to drink. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll have some water. So I pour myself some water. And he's like, no ice? Really? I was like, yeah, I like it. I like it less when it's cold. So my take is that I don't like cold water. I think the room temperature water is tastier.
Is that?
It's easier to drink. That's my take for the year.
Welcome to Trash Taste 2023,
That's my
where
take.
we're starting off with a banger.
I've been holding this back because we saw each other 2 days ago, and I really wanted to be like, is this weird? I'm like, oh, this is not weird, right?
We're going to be like in Trash Taste 2024, and we're going to be like, you know what? Smiling, overrated, kind of. I kind of like... I just had this conversation, and he made me feel like I was weird for liking water that was straight from the fucking tap, just room-ass temperature. I just want to be able to drink it right then. Like, if it's too cold, my mouth gets too cold, and then my esophagus feels like it's freezing. I just want to have the drink right away.
Sounds like a skill issue to me.
Maybe it is a skill issue.
Is there a reason you just... Okay, yeah. Since we're declaring war against cold water
I'm not against cold water. Do I hate it when I'm in America and they give me a cup of water and it is 99% ice and 1 drop of water? Yeah, I hate that shit.
So like, are you just like a no ice person no matter what?
I'm like a 1-2 cube guy max. Like I want it to like lightly cool the water. Like I don't want that shit to be ice cold. Like
lightly cool.
I want the illusion that I'm cooling it without cooling it.
Is it possible that I just have a take that's the same as you? Because I'm like, no, give me all the fucking ice. Just if you're gonna put if you're gonna put
this
ice
feels like an AI generated conversation, like a Trash Taste.
If you're gonna put ice cube in it, just fucking fill that shit up. I don't want 1 or 2. I want the entire glass or nothing, man.
And on brand, I'm just in a position where I'm kind of just like,
listen.
Give me both, bro. I don't give a shit.
To be fair,
this is not that I don't.
Both is fine.
I'm not like I'm dying on this hill. It's like I just did it, and I felt attacked. That Didus was like, "How dare you not have ice?"
To be fair, I don't care that much. It's just my Southeast Asian blood. Like when we have ice there, we need to fill that shit up to the brim because the ice melts so quickly. So I've just gotten accustomed to having...
you grab it, the hands with...
Basically, right? Basically. Okay, here's something even more outrageous that Thailand does. Right?
Outrageous?
Yeah, outrageous. Okay.
Do you mean egregious?
Okay. Sorry.
Outrageous.
Egregious, sorry.
I fuck up the words all the time. We probably have like 900 clips.
Outrageous.
Okay, you talk about putting ice cubes in water, right? So here's what they do in Thailand.
I know you're going to tell me now. I already hate it.
They serve you the beer.
Yeah, I know.
And then they put
with ice?
With ice in it. And they give you ice, man. And some places have the ice already in the cup where you pour the beer. And it's...
Why?
It's because of the weather.
Okay,
because of the
question
weather.
Because I want to get to the bottom of this.
Yes.
Is Thai beer made or I guess like brewed in a way where it's better cold? Or is it just like any other beer? Where if you put it with some fucking ice cubes and it's like, what the fuck?
It's kind of like any other beer, honestly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be like, no, that's not allowed.
I was going to give it the benefit of the doubt if it was like brewed differently where it's like, oh, it's actually better served chilled. But like, no.
Okay, but here's the real question. Would you, which of the 2 evils would you prefer? A warm beer or a beer with ice in it? Because you ain't getting a cold beer in Thailand that like maintains itself, okay? So you have 2 options. Either you drink a warm beer or you drink a beer with ice in it. And I'm gonna be honest, I choose the ice cube, man. To me having a refreshing feeling with a beer is the lesser of the 2 evils.
Hold up. Would you put ice cubes in a glass of wine? Because Because this is the same kind of question where you're compromising the drink. Obviously, with stuff like whiskey, there's arguments there, and some people say the water helps the flavor. But with beer, that's flat out just no. You do not. You don't put water in beer.
To be fair, I've never had warm beer nor beer with ice
You've probably
cubes.
had. No, you've had a warm beer.
You've
You must have been when you were at college or something, right? Like you just forgot to put it in the fridge. You're like, all right, well, I'll just take a warm beer.
Well, I mean, is that warm?
It's like room temp.
Yeah. Okay. Room temp is a bit different to warm.
Well, I mean, how warm can it be? I mean,
room temperature in Thailand is very different from room temperature in other places in the world.
No, it's like
Thailand is like, oh shit.
Because sometimes you have a barbecue in the summer and it gets the beer gets really warm because you ran out of ice in the cooler and it's like, all right, well, it's whatever. Warm beer is fine, but putting water in beer and ice, having like dilute all into the beer, that's
watered down
nasty.
beer is a little bit gross.
Nasty.
Yeah.
As if like Coors Light wasn't drinkable, like it wasn't like fucking what's the word? It's hard enough to drink some beers. Why the fuck would you want to put water in it?
It's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to defend this obviously because both are like awful in my mind, but like my strat in Thailand is like if you have let's say a glass full of ice, for example, cools it down very quickly so it doesn't get like too watered down. So and since there's like less volume, you can drink it more quickly as opposed to like letting it get watered down. I choose that evil over having warm beer because there's just something about I'm not like a fan of like warm water in general unless it's kind of like I'm ill or something.
I fucking love warm water. It's like it reminds me of tea. I love
warm water is like watered down tea.
I have occasionally just drank in warm water.
Yeah.
I'm just like, fuck it. I want the feeling of tea without having to make a tea. I don't know why.
I'm not too sure about that.
I don't know. It's close enough. It's close enough.
Not sure about that one, Chief.
I have dog shit takes, all right? This is my dog shit take of the year.
Why don't they just... Okay, what I don't understand, right, is that, okay, obviously it's hot outside, right?
Yeah.
And you want to keep the beer as cold as you possibly can.
Yes.
So why don't they just do that thing where they do in Japan, where they just shove the beer, like glass, in like a freezer or something, so that it's like chilled out.
Yeah, I thought about this as well.
And then immediately pour the beer, and then if it starts to get warm, just fucking neck it. Problem solved. In Australia, we don't have to fucking worry about it's hot as shit in Australia.
I wonder why the glass strat isn't the go-to.
Yeah, just use the glass strap.
That's just like a lot of like fridge space though, that.
So is storing all those ice cubes.
Actually, I'm wondering how like Japan is like so optimized with space because in most places, like having like a fridge full of glasses, that's just a fridge that you're basically like not using for food or other drinks.
Well, I guess, let's break down the logistics here, right? Okay. Let's say you're cooling the drinks. Obviously, they stay cooler for longer. That's the benefit.
Yeah.
You probably can't store all of your drinks in a cooler, though, right? Like you probably don't have a big enough thing to put all the drinks if you're a business selling drinks all day. But maybe the glass is cool quick enough where you could just shove them in because it's they fill up with ice.
Yeah.
So they don't take up that much room. So maybe it can work. I don't know. You can stack drinks right outside for like ages. I feel like I don't know. This is like a weird complex. Maybe I feel like the bigger problem is that if you're giving glasses out to everyone, right?
Yeah.
Like if you give a bottle, you sell it, it's done.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about getting it back, right? If you give a drink with a glass, you have to get rid of the glass that you poured the beer out of, and then now you have to try and get the beer glass back.
Yeah, and also that also means
This sounds so complicated in my head. Fine.
Every time you order a new beer, you need a new cool glass with it, right?
I imagine most of it's cans as well.
Most of it's bottles actually.
Oh, bottles?
Yeah,
Okay,
glass
all right.
bottles.
Okay.
So it's especially if you go to like the local kind of bars and restaurants, they don't really have like beer on tap. Like Singer beer, Singer beer isn't good enough that it like deserves to be on tap. I'm gonna say that out loud. Okay, Noise Chang beer. It's kind of like it's mostly just in like glass bottles. So, I mean, if they were,
why don't they just shove the glass bottles in the freezer, and then you can just drink straight out of that?
The freezer.
Well, in a cool environment so that it's frozen down so that you can just drink directly rather than pouring it into a glass, just drink it straight out of the bottle.
I think the problem is that ice cubes are really fucking easy to make.
But they also take up space.
Yeah, but I think you can make them pretty quickly. And I think maybe keeping glasses in a fridge will take a while. I think the solution is that making a shit ton of ice cubes is easy.
Yeah.
And that keeping glasses cooled and stuff is complicated.
It just doesn't seem like intuitive in any way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like it's probably something that started and then they just kept doing.
Yeah.
Maybe they haven't thought. I don't know. I don't know. Fucking fridges are expensive.
Yep. Thailand, come on, man. What the fuck? Come on.
I don't know.
Like to me, this is just like the equivalent of being like, oh, I'm gonna make some ice cubes, so I'm gonna take some cold water and then boil it, wait till it cools down, and then turn it into ice cubes. It's like it's like 2 steps in one when you can just go straight to the 1 step.
Yeah.
I guess. I
Come
mean,
on, Thailand, get your shit together.
either way, man, I'm not excited for beer in Thailand. That's for sure. I'm gonna be like, no ice, please, no ice.
Will they say anything if you say no ice?
How do I say no ice?
Sorry?
How do I say no ice?
Most places in Thailand speak English, so
Oh, okay. All right.
especially
Well,
if like you're in Bangkok, just ask for no ice. It's pretty.
Will they give you a weird look if you say no ice?
No, I think most tourists go through this like conundrum when they go to Thailand. They like, why are they serving ice
Bro,
cubes?
German would fucking drop dead, dude. It'd be like that. You know that gif of Walter White falling to the ground when he's like with his mouth open? It'd be that. Germans, when they go to Thailand and get offered a beer with ice.
Fucking heart attack.
Yeah, I think they would. I
Probably would.
I think war would be declared. Germany would remilitarize again. They'd be like, all right, we found a reason.
Yeah.
Oh my
But
god.
does Didas need ice with every glass of water?
I think so, yeah. I think he refuses to drink like water, or is very picky at least. Well, we got to get him on. We'll get him on.
Yeah, we'll get him on
like
next
a week
time.
too, and I can grill him more about this because I felt attacked. You know,
Is that an American thing, you think?
dude? Yeah, they fucking love it
'Cause they love
remember,
ice with
remember
everything.
every single like restaurant or diner or anything you go to, you always get the giant fucking like 2-liter cup, like plastic cup with a straw,
And it's
a
not the
ton of
ice. It's not the ice. It's not the big ice cubes either. It's
the
like the
shitty
shaved
slushed
ice.
ice.
Yeah, that's
God,
the,
that ice sucks.
I kind of like it.
No.
no one like the saddest looking thing is with the shaved ice. I'm an advocate of if it's like the shaved like really small cubes, it needs to be up to like the brim. Otherwise, like when you have like the when you have a glass and it's just like a little like one small layer of shaved
That's
ice.
me.
Yeah.
It just looks so sad for me because
I
I'm like
also-
that ice is doing nothing. That ice is literally doing nothing.
I just don't use that ice because I'm just if I like because a lot of the time you go to the soda machine and you do it and it's always that shitty ice and you're like, oh, you know, I kind of wanted to like not have my drink be immediately watered down, so I'm just not gonna put it.
But
in.
I like crunching on it when you finish with the drink.
Sake.
It's kind of like it's nice.
I feel that. I feel
I
that.
Two layers of enjoyment.
I think you guys are the monkey brains on this one, dude. I feel like I'm Giga Brain. Like I'm like third eyeing this shit. Like no ice for me, please.
I don't know, man.
How about tea? How do you feel about
What, do I chew the tea bag? Like,
okay, there's like iced tea and there's hot tea. How do you feel about lukewarm tea? Just like room temperature tea.
and, you know, I mean, obviously, it's a lukewarm tea is a tea that has been left out.
Yeah.
And,
Same with coffee, you know.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on my mood. I'd say 80% of the time I'll just down it. 20% of the time I'll just throw it
down
away.
it.
Because I'm like, I'm not excited about it because it's not even warm anymore.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of room temp. I'm like, all right. And, all right, make another one.
That's someone who's addicted to coffee. Right there.
No, it's tea.
It's like I will swallow my pride because I need this in my body.
Iced tea. That's what That's what the British people conquered the world about. That's what they struggled for.
It's our identity.
I can't throw away what they worked so hard for and ruined the world for.
Yeah. Do you ever like reheat coffee or reheat tea if it's like on
No,
cold?
no, you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that. That's
nice.
not.
Not allowed to do that.
That's not.
I sometimes do it. Sometimes. I sometimes just like 20 seconds in the microwave. It's
No, that hurts to hear. That hurts to hear.
It's weird because sometimes I'm okay with doing that with coffee, but I just refuse to with my tea. I don't know why. Weird mental thing.
Yeah, coffee it doesn't work.
Coffee, it doesn't work?
No, tea it works. Coffee it doesn't. I don't like doing it with tea. It's like the forbidden technique.
I think it works with coffee. Fine.
No,
I don't have a problem with it.
No.
I mean, I don't let it get to that point.
The Italians are like, Mamma mia, I'm microwaving my coffee over here. What the fuck?
I mean, look, it's like I don't.
No,
I
I literally took me 5 minutes to process what you said. I was like, "There's no way he said that." That's why it took me so long.
99
What
okay,
the fuck?
To be fair, 99 times out of 100, I don't let it get to that point. I'm drinking that shit while it's hot. Right, but sometimes you get a little bit busy. You know, you might have to go out for a little
You
bit.
commit to the iced coffee. You put some fucking ice. You put some fucking ice cubes in it. You don't fucking try and turn it back.
Nah.
That's like it's like. It's like climate change. We've gone too far. We can't. We should just fucking commit. We should just go full hellscape.
No, it's like no. I look at it. I pick it up and I feel it's lukewarm, and I'm like, I can fix you. I just shove you in the microwave.
No.
And then down it.
I just realized I was like, oh my god, I did the whole. I went to America and back.
Yeah, I was gonna
forgot
ask-
that we didn't even fucking talk. I
was gonna
totally
ask-
forgot I did this.
I was gonna ask about that, which was how was the Ludwig chessboxing event
Good,
behind the
yeah.
scenes? Yeah.
So I went to America for about a week to LA. I say America, it's LA. It's like barely America. It's like a different America.
Yeah, we can now say that now that we've been across
I
America.
know. I've been to a lot of states, guy. I tried all the local foods, and it's all the same for the most part. But yeah, no. So we went to LA. Went for a week. Mainly went out to watch Chris box, which Chris did very well.
Yeah,
We gotta get him on sometime soon.
I'm proud of my boy for almost throwing the chess part of it.
No. He somehow threw more in the chess than boxing.
Yeah.
I think like literally, like the throwing of the punches didn't happen nearly as much as the throwing of the chess.
Yeah. He had like, what was it, checkmate in 2, and then he ended up just like giving away his queen. I was like,
Yeah.
how do you do this?
So obviously-
I was screaming at my fucking TV.
Yeah. So obviously, if you don't know, Chris did chess boxing, a lot of chess boxing event. We've talked about it a bunch. So you all probably know, but if you didn't know, it was just, Chris was boxing someone. In between that, he had chess, and he'd been training about this for months, and we were all very excited for it. And I said to Ludwig and Chris, I was like, hey, if I get front row tickets, I'll go out. Because then in my mind, I was like, all right, well, I'll figure out, I'll find some other work stuff to do to make it worthwhile.
Yeah.
And luckily I did. But yeah, so I did that. I did Thanksmas as well. Jacksepticeye
Yeah, I saw
Thanksmas.
that,
That was
yeah.
so much fun. That was crazy. Had to go after Jack Black, which is nerve-wracking. I keep saying this. I'm like, it is nerve-wracking to see Jack Black kill it. And then you're like, all right, next up we got, who? Sea-Dog? Connor, I guess?
This guy.
Yeah, so it was like kind of crazy. Just seeing him real. Like, it was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Oh, you're a real person.
He's so chill as well. Of course.
Of course he is.
It's
of
like
course.
finding out Keanu Reeves is a nice guy. Yeah. It's like, all right, no one is surprised that Jack Black is super chill and nice.
Yeah.
He was just like, dude, everyone in the studio was like doing their job, but you could tell everyone was trying to like get closer to watch.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
really cool. Because it was funny enough, it was where we did our rehearsals for the Trash Taste tour.
was it?
Oh,
okay.
really?
It was in the exact same. Obviously, you guys won't know this. We did rehearsals before we did our Trash Taste tour, and the exact building that we did it in was the same place
cool.
where Thanksmas was.
Oh, nice.
Which was crazy. That was cool. So I got to see a bunch of the tour staff that we
Oh,
did
yeah.
with. So that was nice. I was like, oh,
Hell yeah.
hi.
Oh, fuck yeah, man.
So that was really cool again. We did that, and that was a lot of fun. Jack's great. We had Jack on the pod. He's so fucking
bro.
nice.
Yeah.
He's so chill. Got to hang out with him, and that was great. See Aaron again.
Nice.
So that was so much fun. Did that. That was
Just
crazy.
feels like a big family reunion.
great.
Everyone who we've met on
It's
like
great. It was like-
traveling
it
this
was-
past year.
Yeah, it was
right?
awesome. It was like the highlights, like seeing everyone, like the final
The highlight
anime.
reel.
It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It felt like when I said bye, the anime ending was about to play. Like that's so that was fun. And then I stayed at Ludwig's house as well. That was good. Although there was so many noises, his cats and dogs kept moving around, and I'm not used to sleeping with them.
Right.
So they would keep like trying to scratch on the door or come in, and it was really sweet. It was nice. It was nice. Yeah. His cat is so goddamn cute. Have you seen Coots?
Yeah. The tiny white one, right? Yeah.
God, that,
So
like
cute.
every time I see a pet, I'm like, that's so cute, but also fuck you because I want a pet
Yeah,
so
yeah.
goddamn bad here, man.
I couldn't help myself. But anyway, it was Chris came to LA, and I was really excited to see what Chris thought about LA.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much what I thought. I'll let Chris come and tell his thoughts about LA. I'm sure he'll go off on one.
What
when
was
he
it like
comes.
behind the scenes of the chess boxing event?
Yeah, so it was interesting because obviously I was staying at Ludwig's house, so a lot of the time I was kind of I was just tagging along to a lot of stuff whilst
Yeah.
I was going to do other stuff, and so it seemed like it was kind of all working nicely, and then Ludwig had to just go from A to B and whatever, and so I was kind of just like, hi, yeah, I'm here, hi, I'll turn up, and it didn't really start to get crazy until the weigh-in.
Yeah.
And that was kind of intense because you just turn up to this giant 5,000 person stadium, and there's just insane amounts of staff, and you're like, God damn, like this is all being coordinated by
Yeah.
a streamer essentially, like, and his team. His team's amazing. But it was just absurd seeing all that equipment, all that gear, and it really felt like, oh shit, like I'm I'm like kind of watching like a serious kind of broadcast almost. Like this is, I can't imagine it would look that different. And the weigh-in was fun. Before that as well, they had the interviews where I don't know, you saw the videos.
Oh
they
yeah,
played.
I saw the videos. Yeah.
So they had 2 hotel rooms adjacent to each other, and they were both really fucking tiny. And so they did the interviews in the hallway of a hotel room, and I was sitting in the room next door, just talking to like Ludwig or whoever was there, just chatting away while they were getting interviewed. And then they would constantly go like, "Can you guys shut up in there? We can hear you really easily." So they did the interviews. I saw Chris, said hi to him. Like, all right, you excited?
Yeah.
Did the weigh-in. Everyone kind of you could tell that a lot of the fighters were like not really prepared to do like the whole, I don't know how to look serious or scary.
Yeah.
So they're kind of like, oh. But it was really interesting. Some of them you could tell they were like, yeah, I'm gonna put on a show. I'm gonna do it. But dude, the air was so kind of like, it was like kind of faux tense. Like everyone was kind of like, we're all friends, right? We're gonna punch you the next day.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of interesting seeing everyone kind of like slowly interact with their groups and kind of not talk. And then certain people were like not talking to other people because they were going to fight them. And like, I distinctly remember that Chris had said hi to his opponent.
Yeah.
And Chris's coach is insane. If you haven't seen any clips, he's like, there's a video of him basically beating up a 7-foot Korean man. And he's like 5'10",
Right.
and he beats him in kickboxing, like a giant 7-foot man.
Yeah.
Right.
It's an insane clip. I'm sure Mudan can play a clip right now. It's fucking insane. This man's a machine.
Yeah.
And he's like full on like proper fighter kind of mindset. And Chris is Chris, right? So Chris is talking to his opponent, and then I'm just standing there watching this, and Nick goes up to Chris. He's like, "All right, Chris, now's the fight. No talking to him now. You got to focus. You're going to punch that guy. Don't be friendly with him." And you can see Chris went like, oh. It was just weird seeing him like go like, he's like, you're gonna kill him. You can't talk to him. But that was the first time we got to see like Chris's opponent really show up.
Yeah.
Chris's opponent was scary.
Oh, he was fucking
Pretty big.
terrifying.
It's big. You can tell.
He's a big guy.
So he isn't like very well trained in boxing. He's done a lot of other martial arts, and you can tell the guy's just been generally fit his whole life. Because you look at a guy and you're like, that's the man, that's the body of a man who has been exercising for a long time.
Yeah. It's a shame you couldn't see like the Twitch chat
I wish I could have seen the Twitch chat, dude.
God. I was like dying laughing seeing like the Twitch chat because like, you know, Chris has a lot of fans. Everyone was cheering for Chris.
Yeah.
And his opponent comes on and everyone
I saw
was
someone go
just,
rip, right?
It was just like it was just like a collectively, yo, rip Chris, man. Oh shit.
Well, because you see this man's pecs and this man's back muscles, you're like, oh shit, and then you realize you're like, oh okay, like when you see them both, we saw them both like stand up. You're like, oh, so Chris had been training 6 months just to get like halfway to where this guy was before he even started, right? So like that's
We're about to witness a murder.
Right. So that's where it was like kind of having a lot of natural fitness helps so much with these things.
Sure.
And Chris was just trying to get rid of his like excess weight. Right?
Yeah.
And the way it was like, oh, this guy beats Chris in length, an arm wingspan, in height, in weight. Chris only beats him in age. So maybe that has something, I don't know. And so obviously, Chris didn't really seem that nervous though. Chris seemed pretty confident about it. I think Chris felt like he had, maybe because he'd seen the clip of his opponent getting knocked out like a week earlier.
Right.
His opponent got knocked out in one punch a week earlier.
Right.
And I'm sure Mudan could play a bit of that clip. And so, I think it was like a bit worried, but also everyone was kind of like, well, maybe Chris can do well.
Yeah. How was he in the dressing room beforehand?
Just kind of Chris, just sitting there. I think he was trying to just focus. He wasn't really like talking much. He was just kind of like doing it. And then I went off to go to my seat and watch.
Was he doing the thing that Chris does when he's concentrating, where he does the mouth thing?
Was
he doing that?
No, he didn't. He didn't. Oh,
He does that a lot.
He might be pissed that you said that.
I've said it in video before.
All right. So the day of, so I knew obviously all the stuff that was going to happen. I knew that the table was going to come up from the sky, and I knew that Ludwig was going to have a slap match with XQC at the end.
Right.
So the day of, it's like 10 a.m. And like months prior to this, I told Ludwig, I was like, hey, if you ever need anything, you want me to get slapped or whatever, I'll do it. Back up. So that morning of the boxing, it's like 9 a.m. We're going over to go and pick up XQC, and he's just not there. just straight up not at his house.
Jeez.
And then Ludwig's like, all right, fine, I'll just call. Doesn't pick up his phone. And I'm like, is that normal? He's like, yeah, that's normal. That's normal. I'm like, wow, okay. So then we just drive to the venue and just kind of, he's like, yeah, I'm sure he'll respond. Because, he's going on at like 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So he's got from like 10 till 7 p.m. to like reply.
All day.
Yeah, all day. And so we get to the venue. I get there very early, just kind of, because I'm there from like 11. The event doesn't start till 4. So I'm just looking around, just doing stuff, getting lunch, talking to people. And then, around 3 p.m. is when it kind of starts to get like, all right, okay.
Bit nervous.
Yeah, everyone starts to get a little bit more tense because everyone realized, all right, they're going to have to actually like go on and put on a fight. And Chris was just getting ready. Nick was doing up his like, the things that go on your arm. I can't remember what they're called. And then I'm like, all right, Chris, I'm going to go get to my seat. Good luck. And I'll come meet you before we do the walk-in. And so I'm sitting, I got like front row tickets. It's fucking awesome. The boxing's great. You can see everything. I can't see any of the chess though. I can't see it from where I'm sitting. And the screen is like up here, like directly up. And every time they went to play chess, initially it was broken. Like the board was broken, right? As you saw on the live stream. So it was kind of like, oh, all right. So I guess we were kind of like just quiet for like 2 minutes, and the boxing started. We're like, yeah, it's so good. Front row tickets are amazing for boxing because you see and hear all the punches really clearly, and dude, you can see their face when they're like struggling as well. It's a pretty fucking fun experience. All right. I'm as I say from my sadistic standpoint, they get punched. So fun.
Look at these peasants fighting each other.
Exactly. And like the smash boxing was pretty fun. I think it all went pretty well.
Yeah.
And then I went to go and do the walking thing for Chris. I basically I told Chris before, I was like, yeah, you should do something when you go out. You should do like a funny bit or something. He was like, what? Why? I was like, well, because it's like a show. Like put on a show. Why not? Because it'll be clipped everywhere. There'll be a lot of people watching. And he was like, oh, okay. So he comes back a day later and he's like, all right, I've got an idea. We're going to throw candy into the crowd. And I was like, why? What reason are we doing this? So he was like, oh, it's Christmas, isn't it? I was like, all right, fine. It's your walkout. Let's do it. So we go out, have these candy buckets, and I'm just trying to hype him up and hype the crowd up, right? And whatever. We walk out, and that was really fun. And I just immediately go to my seat, and I'm watching him. And man, it was intense. It was intense watching Chris. I'm sure were you guys watching from home as well?
Oh, yeah, I was watching from home, yeah.
Yeah, it was, the boxing started, and it looked like Chris was not doing great. So I think it was like, oh no. And then the chess happened, and then Chris started winning. And we're like, oh my God, yes, Chris is crushing it. Chris is literally about to win. And then the boxing happened again. We're like, all right, Chris, just survive. And Chris wasn't really getting in many punches, right? Chris was kind of like dodging and just moving around.
It felt like watching like, someone take on a Dark Souls boss.
Yeah,
he was just like dodging. Like he was just like
iframes.
Literally, he was just like, how many iframes can I get out of this? I'm seeing him like try to win at the chess. Yeah. And
I mean, there's definitely like, it seemed like he's way more experienced, at least in some form of combat sports, right? Like you can tell because he's constantly going in, he knows his reach and he's playing with it. Whereas Chris is a bit more defensive, kind of just trying to survive.
Yeah.
he's spamming the roll button in Dark Souls. And then, he threw massively.
Yeah.
In chess.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, well, I guess he's lost because he's not going to beat him in boxing.
Yeah.
And he's not going to beat him in chess now. But somehow his opponent was even shitter at chess. So it all worked out and Chris won in the end. But it was intense. It was like 40 minutes long. I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time.
Oh, no, same here. Like watching that shit live, I was just seeing like Chris kind of like clutch at the end with the chess. I was fucking screaming, man.
Yeah, it was hype. It was hype. I think Chris was a bit disappointed that he didn't do better in boxing. I'm sure, again, he'll talk about all this stuff when he comes on.
This episode is sponsored by ExpressVPN.
Using the internet without ExpressVPN, it's like putting your speakerphone on the bus for your public calls, guys. You don't know who knows your private information anymore.
And that's why I use ExpressVPN. Did you know that internet service providers know every single website you visit?
What?
And in the US, they can legally sell this information to ad companies and tech giants who then use your data to target you.
But this sounds too good to be true. How does this all work?
Well, ExpressVPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet so people can't peep on your online activity.
Whoa.
And it's so easy to use as well. You just fire up the app and click one button. It works on phones, laptops, and even routers. So everyone who shares your Wi-Fi can also be protected.
No wonder it's rated #1 by Business Insider and The Verge.
Guys, you've sold me. I'm going to go to expressvpn.com/trashtaste to get an extra 3 months for free. Or maybe I'll just click the link in the description subscription. That's expressvpn.com/trash taste.
Back to the episode. Dude.
Congratulations on getting like a big W and not throwing yourself, by the way.
So so during the Andrea fight, so about the third to last fight, Ludwig comes up to me. He's like, "Yeah, so X hasn't replied to me at all," and it's like 5 something p.m.
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, I guess I'm down. Let's do it." And so he's like, "All right, cool." I was like, "By the way, please don't try and slap me too hard. I have a blood thing, so just don't try and kill me."
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Oh, okay. Just slap me as hard as you want, and I'll reciprocate." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That works nicely." And then I'm sitting there, and I'm realizing I'm like, wait, how the fuck am I going up? Like, how is any of this working? Like, I don't understand how any of this is going to happen. Like, I'm sitting here, like, the tech guys don't know I'm going up. So, like, there's no way, like, there's no graphics or anything. Like, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what the fuck? How does this going to work? Like, what do I do? What do I even, like, do I do a bit? What do I do? And again, it's 2 hours. And I've been drinking a bunch of beers before this was free. Yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to drink beer and watch boxing. And so I was like, oh shit, I guess I should stop drinking beer. So I stopped drinking the beer, but then I found out that later on, after the fight, that Ludwig started drinking shots before because he wanted to get ready for it. I was like, shit, I should have kept drinking. So, like 30 minutes before I'm about to go up, because the fights could either be 5 minutes or 30, right?
Yeah.
So I was like shitting myself. I'm like, fuck, I don't know like when I'm going up, because the Toast versus Point Crow match started. And it looked like Toast was about to lose immediately. And so I was like, shit, I'm about to go out. So I started getting really fucking nervous. And one of Ludwig's team comes to me and I'm like, yeah, so like how is this working? Like, what the fuck do I do? And they were like, well, we'll figure it out in a sec. So the fight ends. And just before the fight ends, Ludwig comes over and he's like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna throw it to you and you're gonna come in and do whatever you want. I was like, do whatever I want. What do you like? I'm like, give me a role. Am I the bad guy, the good guy? Give me something. Like, I need to know. And he was like, oh, well, just whatever feels right. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, fine. So then, I'm sitting there and then watching it, and I didn't know when they were going to cue.
Right.
So I'm just kind of like, all right, waiting. And they go, is there anyone in the audience who wants to slap Ludwig? And I'm like, oh shit, I guess I'll put my hand up.
There's this great shot on screen of just you just like casually like, yes, my time, finally, my time has come.
So I thought to myself, I was like, I want to make it look as like suave and casual as possible, so that when I go up, it looks really like fucking extra and over the top. So I just sat there like, okay. I guess I was slapping. I guess I can. And then, really surreal hearing fucking Germa go, is that Sea Dog? Germa's so fucking cool, man. Germa's such a nice guy.
He seems like such a cool dude.
And then going up, and I was like, all right, whatever. It's just all autopilot. I'll just figure it out. We'll just do it. And I hope I did a good job. I don't know. Maybe the audience, I saw a lot of nice comments, so I'm hoping that I did.
Yeah, you did a great
but it went really well.
Yeah,
and it was a good match. We slapped each other. Everyone kept saying that we were faking our slaps. To be fair, the last 2 slaps were pretty hard. The first 2 were like, we were holding back.
Yeah.
Because we also didn't. I was at the mindset of like, I'm not actually trying to injure him. Like, I don't actually want to hurt him.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make it look hard without actually injuring him.
Yeah.
I did give him a little bit of a bruise on the last slap that I got him pretty good with. He did ask me to go a lot harder, so I did. But I still didn't do like fully 100%.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. I feel like that you don't need that.
That's a bit excessive.
I feel like, is that really going to add to anything if I give him a concussion? I feel like I don't think he needs that.
People want to see death, Connor. You know?
Yeah.
I know they do, but I'm like,
They want to see a knockout.
I don't think we need it. I don't think it needed to happen, but I think it all worked out, and I got my belt. I didn't choke. I think it was he definitely wanted to get the clock closer.
Yeah.
At some points, he wanted to get it I think very close. So he's a master at stalling for content.
Yeah.
But I think he accidentally stalled
He stalled a bit too long.
I think he actually tried to win.
Yeah.
He might say he threw for content. I think he actually tried to win, because if you watch back, you can see him trying to press the clock again. And he just didn't press it in time. But then we also broke so many rules. Like I totally forgot. You're not allowed to move a chess piece and then press the clock with the other hand. But then also, half of these matches, no one fucking played the chess correctly anyway. So why do people
Some
care?
people just like moved a piece and didn't even press the clock.
Yeah, like Chris's opponent did it a few times. So I was like, got my dub, got the belt. I was a happy boy.
Oh,
dude.
nice.
Man, I don't know if you've had this before, but whenever you have like a huge, massive serotonin rush, like the next day, you're like, fuck, I'm so sad.
Yeah.
I was just sad the next day. I was like, shit. Even though I was having like a fun time, I was just hanging out with my friends. I was just like, damn, I'm just sad. I think the serotonin come down was like really high.
Yeah.
I get that.
And that was like, oh man, this sucks. And then the next day we flew to San Francisco. We did a sushi stream where we learned sushi with a sushi master.
Yeah, Michelin chef, right?
A Michelin star sushi chef.
Yeah.
And he was very funny. He was great. It was a really fun stream. Check it out if you haven't. We basically just tried to prepare sushi. And I was not good.
I mean, we knew you weren't good at cooking anyway, Connor.
Dude, sushi's hard, man. I know it looks easy. They're just kind of like boom, 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 fish. There you go. Dude, that shit's hard.
Yeah.
This man was cutting up cucumbers like it was like arts and crafts. Insane. Insane.
Yeah, it's almost like sushi chefs have to go through years of training
Yeah. It's
crazy,
to get really,
crazy.
really good at sushi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy, dude. This man turned a cucumber into a Christmas tree. Isn't that insane? Yeah.
I'm trying to imagine how.
Yeah, I know,
yeah.
right? Exactly. I didn't know that too until he showed me.
Did he do it in like the one fell swoop? Just like
He probably could have. He was like, "Drrrr," and then he did like an accordion with the cucumber. By going,
okay,
and then
yeah.
I tried. I copied exactly what he did, and it just didn't work.
it just fell apart.
He just didn't even do anything. And I was like, what the fuck? How did he do that? I swear I copied him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like some magic, especially like with some of the cutting techniques I've seen, where you just see like chefs. It's literally like real life shokugeki, where it's just like,
Yeah, it's what he did. That's what he
Yeah.
did. I was like, and I copied that, and it didn't work. So I realized I'm just not meant to be a chef. But then flew
I
back.
copied that. Now I have 3 less fingers.
Yeah, I copied that, and I just have half a cucumber. And then I flew back. We flew to San Francisco, flew back the same day, and then next day I flew back to Japan. And
packed schedule, man.
Yeah, it was literally like 1 week of just back-to-back stuff, and it was pretty fun. I mean, I got so much work done. It was great. I like it when I can do a trip like that where I just go away for a week, get so much work done, come back and done. Like I did a stream as well where I reviewed cereal with Chris and Ludwig.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, it was just great. I mean, it's really satisfying planning out a trip like that and just getting doom back, and then you're like, oh, nice.
Right.
That was like productive.
Did you help Chris like practice at chess at all?
Yeah, I did.
I'm wondering like how much he did practice at chess beforehand.
I helped him practice a tiny bit, mainly because we never really ended up we just didn't do it.
He knew how to play beforehand, though, right?
Yeah, he knew how to play. He was okay. I think, yeah, he said he was 800. I think that's cap. He wouldn't tell me his rating.
I think he said he was 800 because that's like the default rating you get when you
I
start
think
chess.com.
so.
Where it's like, yeah.
It's like, yeah, 800. I didn't play once. But
Signs up to chess.com, guys. I'm 800 elo. No worries.
I think he's
no
like
worries.
650,
Right.
600 maybe. Because he was like, I'm going to do the Queen's Gambit. He wanted to do the Queen's Gambit.
Okay.
Like, which is a chess opening. And before it, I was kind of like, well, I mean, I guess it's fine. Like I told him, I was like, I would have just done the classic, the E4.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just the fucking moving. Like it's easy. You're white.
Rui Lopez
Like 'cause
or
he
whatever
was
it's called.
playing white as well.
Right.
So I was like, you could just play that. But I was like, honestly, you've been playing this entire time with Queen's Gambit. Me telling you to swap it now is not going to do you any favors.
Yeah.
Just do it. Just don't blunder your queen. And he's like, and then he kept saying, the days leading before, he's like, as long as I just don't blunder the queen, I'm happy. That's what he kept saying. He kept saying, as long as I don't blunder the queen.
I could literally see how tilted he was after he blundered that queen. He was,
Yeah, there was a thing that wasn't picked up on the cameras, but after he did that, the round, like when the ding ding went and he was
Yeah.
next to boxing, he stood up, looked at me, and did this. And I was like this.
Damn.
yeah.
Yeah, it was yeah. I mean,
Made it more dramatic, man. It was-
Yeah.
Did it for content.
It's all for content.
yeah, it was
all for
lucky-
content.
You know, I knew that his opponent was terrible at chess, so I was like, honestly, don't worry about it, just play.
Yeah.
How bad could it go? And then it nearly went extremely badly. And then he nearly let his opponent promote to a queen, but apparently he didn't even know that was a thing.
What? Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So he was one move away. So in chess, if you move the pawn all the way to the end of the board, you
Yeah.
can get a queen.
Yeah.
And somehow Chris had thrown his queen and then allowed him to get his pawn one move away from promoting with nothing defending it.
And
Okay.
I think they both missed that.
And they both missed it.
Yeah.
And he was one move away. At any point, he could have just got another queen, and it probably would have just ended the game. He just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then later, someone had said that apparently he just didn't know that was a thing.
Oh my god.
So Chris was fighting a man who was like a pro in boxing and a toddler in chess. So luckily, it worked out for him.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was like a really, really impressive
The event was
all
insane.
round.
The event
Like,
was
props
insane.
to you, Lud.
Yeah.
Because it's like considering how many moving parts have to like go down for that kind of event to happen, and he was like talking about it for like ages as well.
Dude, just seeing all the staff there, I was like, my God, this is so stressful. But he has like a team of, I think, 15 employees. So he's got a really good amount of people working on the stuff. And, you know, he's not always there like on the floor being like, you do this. It's just like, you know, he works with his team and his team's great. And they're so fucking cool. All of them are so nice.
Yeah, it's just like seeing like live events like that, going to shit like Moga Money Live and also doing our tour as well. I'm like, fuck, live things. A lot of fucking fun, you know?
Yeah. That's why I really want to start doing some as well and do some more fun live stuff. Maybe this year, hopefully, fingers crossed.
There's just something about having that audience energy in front of you that, especially after the pandemic, I've just like sorely missed as well.
Yeah, I think after the tour as well, it made me think like, damn, I really want to figure out a way to do some live audience stuff. Even if that means me going to America for like a week to do something.
Bro, that serotonin rush, man.
It's so good.
It's
and also
something different, man.
It's like, you know, I love streaming a lot, but I love the idea of having these big things that you work towards.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. I really want to do some stuff. Keep your eyes peeled. Might be some stuff coming. Who knows?
Yeah. Next year.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It should be
Do you mean this
fun. Yeah, this year. Sorry, this year.
Of course.
We are filming this in 2022.
We are filming this in 2023. Yes.
Yeah, 2023.
And it's just great. Like every time I go out to LA, you know, I think LA is an interesting city. This is the nicest way I could say it. It's terrible. It's a terrible city, but every time I go there, I always get so inspired seeing how like the creator scene is over there, how like how hard and crazy people are working out there.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously there's some characters that you know, it sucks, and a lot of people are not nice.
Did you ever find out where XQC was?
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
He just didn't show up.
Okay.
I think he replied actually to Ludwig at like 8 or 9 p.m. being like, sorry, I just woke up. I think, I don't know, something like that. So that was
that man is on his own time zone.
Yeah, it's what it is, man. When you're the biggest, you can just not turn up to stuff. I guess no one cares. I just every time I go there, I get so inspired, and like seeing Ludwig just do his thing, man. He's so professional, and the stuff that they're doing and pushing live streaming forward is like, oh my God, that's just badass.
Yeah,
and then, like, how can you see that stuff and not be like inspired to want to better your own stuff and push it further?
Yeah, it's kind of like every time I do go to LA for Anime Expo or whatever, and like you get to talk to a lot of these other creators, it does like light a fire under your ass.
For sure.
Yeah, and then you come back to Japan, you're like, what can I do here? So
we can't do anything.
Yeah,
which is why I'm like, man, we should just make our own. We should do it.
Yeah, because like just seeing some of like the ideas and some of the shit they can get away with over there, just kind of like, oh, I wish I could do this in Japan as well, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just like the infrastructure is there, and it's just a lot easier just to, you know, be able to get a camera out and just be able to like do exciting things. It's you know, I have a lot of problems with LA as we've all like mentioned before.
Of course.
We've all had our qualms with it, but it's they have like all of the infrastructure there just to make shit done and get shit done.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if you want to hire out 3 guys and someone who knows how to do a live broadcast and an audio guy who knows how to get it all done, it's like, boom, in LA, that's easy. But in Japan, it's like impossible.
Yeah.
You know, there are Japanese people who do it, but it's like they won't be nearly as flexible enough to do what we would need them to do. And also they would charge so goddamn much money, where if, you know, it's just makes more sense at that point to just, if you're going to be doing it consistently, just make your own team.
Yeah.
And get all this stuff. Like when we did that sushi stream, there was 3 red cameras they were using to stream. 3 cinema cameras to stream that with. Insane.
For those of you who don't know, each one is like 20 grand.
No, it's more.
More than that?
More. Fuck. They're like 30 to 40, I think, for just the camera.
Yeah.
And then you need to buy all the other shit, which it adds
Yeah.
up a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
The SSD is also red SSD.
Yeah, you can't use other SSDs. They have their
yeah.
own proprietary stuff, which is kind of that's a whole thing.
So patrons, we know what we want for Christmas for 2023.
Thanks, patrons.
But like I did that. I did a poker stream recently as well, where I got invited to play poker with a bunch of Japanese people who I just only kind of briefly spoke to once, and I kind of thought, yeah, this sounds intimidating. Just turning up to it was a shogi building that they rented out to play poker.
Cool.
And it was just, they kind of brokenly messaged me in English being like, poker, yes. Alcohol, yes. And then as I'm like going over there, they messaged me being like, poker, no. I'm like, what? What? But then I get there and they're like, oh, yeah, all good. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Just message me in Japanese and I'll Google Translate it.
It's like, damn, we thought we could debate him.
Yeah, so I met these people on a stream, and one of them is like a professional poker player in Japan. He travels a lot.
Is that a thing in Japan?
So recreational poker is really big here. If you want to play,
You got to pay in.
Yeah.
And then, you can't like win money necessarily,
Yeah.
but like, yeah.
A lot of people
It's just for fun.
like practice here, and then they go to foreign countries to compete. So a lot of them will go across Europe, will go across America, just playing poker tournaments. But they practice a lot here. There's a really big scene for it here. They were telling me that there was a YouTuber who's in Japan. He's a poker YouTuber with 1 million subscribers. And that's a lot for
I think
Japan.
I know,
He has his own brand of poker chips as well.
Massive
Or
in
he
Japan.
recommended it. Yeah, that's
like 1 million in Japan is fucking
huge.
insane.
poker's pretty big in Japan. Like if you look on the map, like you go to like Tokyo and type in like poker, there's a lot of poker places that pop up.
Right.
Obviously you can't gamble any real money. It's like all recreational, and you can buy drinks and stuff. And
Yeah.
sometimes they have like fun tournaments and stuff. It's just for fun, and because a lot of people like playing poker. And yeah, so he was a poker pro, and they just messaged me being like, "Hey, do you want to come play poker with us 3 and 5 other people you've never met who don't speak English?" And I was like, "All right, fuck it, sure, let's do it. Why not?" It went really well. They were all really chill. They were already fun. And it made me really want to do like, oh man, I should just buy a poker table, just cut out some holes for the cards, put some plexiglass, and then
Put
hook
a
up
camera in it.
cameras
Hook a
underneath,
camera.
and then have like 3 cameras going around. I'm like, man, we could do this. It'd be expensive, but I'm wondering, like, damn, I should do this.
Yeah, if you do, hit me up because I fucking love. I fucking love
Yeah,
playing
Connor, why don't you
Pokemon.
do all the work? Hit me up.
Connor, do the work, do the thing. I just want to play Pokemon.
Hit me up. Yeah. I do. I really want to do some shit like that where I'm like, all right, we can get a space that is built for like live stream content where you can like remake it into some stuff. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I'm being ambitious. I don't know.
I mean, poker's just a lot I in general.
And then it's easy.
Yeah.
Poker's fun. It's great.
Poker's the fun part, you know. Have you ever played poker, Joey?
Yeah, I've played poker a few times. I played it in Hokkaido actually, like earlier this year
Yeah.
when I was up there with a few of my friends. Like there's as Connor was saying, there's a ton of places, especially in like the biggest cities as well. Like
There's a bunch in
Hokkaido-
Sapporo.
Yeah, in Sapporo there's so many. And it's super fun. And again, it's like a whole buy-in thing, and then when you finish with it, you get like kind of, I guess, like a credit type of thing, where you can use it again to buy yourself back in.
Right.
If you go back to that store, for example. But yeah, it's like you just play with a bunch of like random Japanese people who are just like having drinks and just like hanging out and
It's
shit.
a good conversation game.
Yeah,
It is.
There's a lot of time to talk.
Perfect like boys' night, just because it's like
Yeah.
it's the perfect mix between okay, we're playing a game, but also enough time to just like chill out with the boys and just have a conversation.
For sure,
and
yeah.
everything like that. I remember like when we went to Vegas, we tried going to like the poker tables in Vegas, and then we saw the buy-ins there, and we're like,
It was like a minimum $100 a hand.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's like a minimum, right?
Yeah,
so
minimum.
you need at least a few thousand to even sit down. And then when we walked past it, we just saw like, dude, people looked intense.
Yeah.
And like people were like shouting and
It was
stuff.
like a life
and,
or death situation.
Dude,
for a
I
lot of
actually
these people.
I think so a lot of those people are gambling with like their entire life, like work.
Yeah.
And so I was like, man, I don't think this is the vibe. I don't think this is
Too
the vibe.
intense.
Yeah, I think I wanted to have a little fun poker game with some friends maybe, but no, not a.
That's why we just ended up at the roulette
Yeah.
table, right?
Yeah, because we went to Vegas on the tour, and me and Garnt had never been, so we were like, wow, we want to see the casinos because like that's what you do in Vegas. Have a look. So that was crazy. It was overwhelming.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was insane.
Vegas was so much fun though.
Yeah.
It's a crazy city.
It is. I mean, you've been plenty of times, Joey, so you're
Yep.
you're definitely biased. to that.
I've never seen an American city that made it so apparent that if you want to spend money, you can just like get way better treatment.
Yeah.
Like we were lining up for a cab, right? To go back to our hotel, and as we were lining up, this line is long. It's like maybe like a 20-30 minute wait. And this guy just shouts, he's like, if you want a private vehicle, it's $50. And I was like, oh, so we can just skip the whole line if we pay $50? He's like, yeah. So we and Garnt were like, oh, fuck it, yeah, let's do that. So we just did that. We just skipped the whole line, paid $50.
Nice.
And it's like, in my head, I'm like, why would everyone here is like probably wasting so much money on these tables? Just say $50 so you could skip the line.
Bro, some people have like lost a lot of money.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I know.
I ain't spending
know.
any more money on
Yeah.
taxis, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose money on a cab ride and
Yeah.
tip the guy than give a casino more money.
I am sad that me and Connor weren't able to go to like the Caesar's Palace buffet though. That was the one.
Oh,
thing-
you went to the buffet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we took them. We did. my friend did this. Who lives in Vegas, who's also a YouTuber. We call it Digital Next. He did this. I've never seen this baller move before, but it was this huge line at the Caesar's Palace buffet. Right, it's like it's in my opinion one of the best buffets like ever,
Okay.
especially in Vegas. So we were like, all right, we got a lot of staff here who have never been to Caesar's Palace Buffet. We got to take them to Caesar's Palace Buffet. And he was like, yeah, the line might be really long though, especially since we haven't reserved it. And we show up and sure enough, there's like 50 to 100 people waiting in line around. It's like a 2-hour wait, and I'm just like, and we're just standing around being like, all right, fuck, what are we gonna do? And then my friend Digital was just like, all right, I got this. And he walks into the queue and like calls over just like a staff member, and he goes, yeah, so I've got a bunch of famous people here with me right now, and they really want to sit down and they want to grab a seat where they can't really be seen because they might be bombarded by fans, and that might be a problem with you guys.
No way did this
And
work.
the guy was like, all right, give me a second. And he goes back and he like gets on a phone call for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, so we got a seat for you right
No
down the back.
fucking
Come on
way.
through. And we just skipped the whole fucking line and went to the biggest, nicest seat in the back of the restaurant. I was like, how the fuck did you do that?
Even if I was fucking like Leonardo DiCaprio, I wouldn't have the balls to do
Yeah,
that.
I
To be like,
didn't-
I need a back room.
the
Sorry.
absolute confidence in this
Bro,
man to be
that's
like,
like-
there's some famous people. I'm just like, that's such an alpha move.
That's like speech 100.
Americans are different, bro. They're just
Dude.
different. How does that work?
I can't
Yeah.
believe that worked either.
What the fuck?
I'm like, that must happen quite often. I mean, this is Vegas we're talking about, right? So there's probably just fucking celebrities walking around all the time.
Yeah. I mean,
But it's just like the fact that it was just like me and like a bunch of the tour staff were just standing around being like, hi. And the guy looking at us like, those the famous people?
those are the famous people.
Those are the famous people?
Actually, that's the anime man.
Yeah. I don't know if you know. But,
Yeah.
I saw a claw machine in one of the casinos. It was
Really?
Like, it was like a gambling claw machine.
What was in it?
Oh my.
Money.
Oh, just like
So
cash.
you could bet however much you wanted to, and then it would be like, hey, if you got one of the balls, you'd get this much back. So I tried it, and I was like, nah, this shit ain't working. this shit is not happening. Like, at most, I might get it once, but because it's like a computer that decides how much money you get. Obviously, the computer will probably decide that you get to win when it's a very tiny amount, right? So it's like this is so dumb.
No.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Sol's game.
Going on tour has made me realize like just Connor has an unhealthy addiction to claw machines now. I don't know
Yeah, if I see one, I kind of have to play it. I don't know why. It's kind of, you'd think I'd be sick of them, but I kind of just always want to play them.
The system's gone on, man.
I know, right?
it's like the Jump King effect, all over again.
Yeah.
You've done it so much. You've
reprogrammed your brain
You've
to
tortured
be like-
yourself with claw machines so much that you've convinced yourself that you like it.
Yeah, I've spent I've spent so much on crane games now.
Yeah.
Probably close to 10 grand.
Yeah, I never told you this story, but like the point I realized that Connor's like actually addicted was so we went to one of the League Worlds like quarterfinals, or it was like kind of it was the group stages in New York.
Yeah.
And we go in, and of course we're going in to watch League. That's why we're going there. And so we go to take our seats, and there's just like one single like claw machine in this entire building, right?
Okay.
It's just like one thing that they've put there, and no one's like playing in it. And I just
No, fuck off. People were playing it.
not when we were walking in. Not when we were walking in.
Yeah.
And
It's free. It's free to play.
It was free to play, and Connor just glances at it and just goes, "Oh, there's a claw machine." And then I was like, "Yeah, there's a claw machine." I don't know what you can win. Did you know what you could win?
Yeah,
there?
so it was like a stress ball, of like league things.
Yeah.
There was like the Gragas barrel and
Okay.
a minion.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was just something for like fans and viewers to do like in between games or
Right,
something.
right.
So we watched like the first 2 games at this event that we're in. And then Connor's like, "I'm gonna go to the toilet." I'm like, "Okay, sure thing."
I did go to the toilet.
And he did go to the toilets. And so what proceeds to happen is so before the next game starts, I go out as well. I had to go to the toilet before the next game starts, and I see Connor on this claw machine with like 5 people around him, right? and I just thought, oh, it's because actually at that League event we got recognized so much because of course League fans and weebs, we go hand in hand. So I thought, Connor's playing up. We have a few fans there. He's playing a few claw machines with some fans. Go to the toilet, come back, watch the match. The entire match is like I watched the entire match by myself. Thinking, where the fuck did Connor go? Where did he go? He missed an entire match of League. So
Okay, to be fair, it was a shit game, so I didn't care.
So I go out.
And what I see is a group of like 30 people making a semicircle around Connor, playing this fucking claw machine. He had been playing this claw machine for 40 minutes without the entire league match. And I was like, God, have you been here this entire time? And he's like, yeah, I haven't won yet. I'm not leaving until I've won like one of these fucking balls.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I went to the toilet and then there was no line for it. So and I'd seen a line earlier, so I was like, oh, I'll just have a go. And then I started getting recognized a lot by people there, and so people started lining up to like. Some people were just waiting to take photos. Some people just wanted to watch me play, and then some people like the people would just gather because they're like, "Oh, I've heard this guy's good at this." So people would just watch, and so like Garnt said, by the end of it, I had like a group of 30 people, and it was kind of like where we were all interacting, and we were like everyone was like talking shit, everyone was like bantering. I kind of felt like Spartacus with my like audience. It's like, "Are you not entertained? Let's get it!" And I kept getting like perfect grips, perfect claws, perfect like. But every single time I nailed the grip on it.
There.
I had the perfect tech every single time, and for 40 minutes, I didn't win. And then
just wasn't meant to be.
I was asking everyone, like, has anybody seen anybody win this? And they were like, no. There's like 3 machines around the whole venue, and they're like, I haven't seen anyone win. I'm like, this is bullshit. We should riot. We should rob it. We should just tip this thing over and take its contents. And so the woman came to fill over one of the other machines, and we were like, why? And then the guys started asking, like, why can't we win this? This guy's been playing for like 50 minutes and we can't win. And they're like, it's easy. It's free to play. A bunch of kids have won them. And we're like, no one's won anything. What are you talking about?
The government is lying to us. Begin the coup d'etat.
They literally watched me for 50 minutes nail it, and I didn't win a single fucking time. A $2 stress toy. And so I was just kind of sad about that. And
did you end up winning?
I
didn't. I gave up because eventually it was like I got to actually like because I'd asked somebody a good friend, well not good friend, I'd asked somebody I knew, hey, can I have tickets please? Because the tickets were all sold out. So I was like, I should go watch the game. Because after 40 minutes, I'm like that's enough.
Jesus.
I like how it was a free claw machine. I was like, and you were like, I want a refund. Give me a refund.
I want a refund on my time. That was fucked up. League of Legends, if you ever watch this clip, please consider sending me a free stress toy because I needed it afterwards. That was unfair. I bought so many White Claws at that venue, and they were like $15 White Claws.
Oh my God.
I needed it to get through that claw, man. I was so sad.
We also had our very first Geexplus office Christmas party the other day, which was a lot of fun. You missed the beginning of that.
I did.
Yeah. So I think the highlight of that night, because I've been thinking about it ever since that night, was we had like a Secret Santa, right? we had a Secret Santa. You know, everyone got some nice gifts and everyone, but I forgot there was someone who bought what was that like fucking sorry? Kendama. Yeah. Like a kendama, like a Japanese toy, and
there was a revolution that happened. That
opened my mind to be like, I didn't realize something so simple could be so much fucking fun. Holy shit!
It was like I forgot who actually got it for the that's right. Didas got it for a present.
Who gave it to Didas?
I think Anna did, right?
Oh, Anna did. Yeah.
Anna gave it to Didas for the present, and it was it's just like a small little kendama, and Didas was like, "What is this?" And someone had to show him how to do it. By the end of the night, there was like at all times at least 7 people just in a semicircle surrounding them, being like, "Me next, me next. Come on, I got that. I can nail it. No, give it to me. You shit. I can do it." It got so competitive.
It just made me realize, damn, kids in the 1950s had it fucking good, man. Holy shit. Who needs a fucking iPad? Who needs fucking Fortnite when we have like a fucking Kendama?
When you get cracked at it, then it's no longer fun. Because you can do it every time.
No, because then you start to learn like the special tricks, and those take like years to perfect.
I'm good.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I've been thinking about getting one myself. I'm just
a literal children's toy.
It's actually so fun. Though. You don't understand.
Like initially you look at it.
You don't know. You haven't tried it. That's
initially
why.
you look at it.
I know what it is. I've used it.
Yeah. Initially you look at it and you're like, this is fucking stupid. And then you try it once. And you're like, try it again. I'm gonna try it again. I'm I'm gonna try it again. And it's got like that perfect, I'm gonna call it like a gameplay loop of just one more time. I'll get it this time. Joey is fucking cracked at it because Joey showed us the strat, and I think that's what made it like so much fun because we could see what we needed to do. So the strat is just like you have to pull up you have to pull the string up at like the perfect amount of like strength and like
directly vertical,
like directly vertical, and you need to fucking just like perfectly land it on the kendama. And so there are like 4 stages of difficulty. So they're like there's like if you know here's what it looks like on screen, right? So you got like 3 appendages, and each appendage has like a cup that is a different kind of size. And Joey did it like, so the smaller the size, the harder it is to land it on that cup. And Joey tried to do it. Joey showed us to do it on like the hardest difficulty setting. And everyone's like, that looks easy. I'm just going to go for the hardest difficulty setting right off the bat.
Difficulty setting of a kid's toy.
Yeah.
And and then we, like, I think a group of like fucking 7 of us wasted 2 hours just watching this ball go fucking up and down. And up
It was
and down,
so hype.
and up and down. It was the hypest thing to happen.
When anyone got it the first time, everyone was just like, oh!
Literally, you showed me how to like spin it, and I actually got it on my first try.
Yeah, I taught people how to do it on like the spike, like to get the ball on the spike, which is the hardest one. And I did it first go, and even I was surprised. I was like, oh shit. And then everyone was like, yo, let me try that. And for like the next 2 hours, everyone's just trying to do it.
What gift did you guys both give and receive?
So I didn't find out that we were doing a Secret Santa until literally like 2 hours before I was supposed to show up. Right?
Okay.
Maylene was like, by the way, we're doing a Secret Santa.
I wasn't here for this because I was on a plane.
Yeah. Connor was on his way back from the US, right? So Maylene texted me like 2 hours before I was supposed to show up, being like, by the way, we're doing a Secret Santa. No pressure though. And I was like, why are you telling me this?
Because
now?
you'll end the loop if you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was just like, well, fuck, I don't have time to go out to shop for something, let alone wrap it up. So I just got to like grab something from home. And so I just was like, all right, I guess if everyone's kind of doing like joke gifts or whatever and like not serious gifts, then I'll just give a joke gift. So I just grabbed my copy of TSF Monogatari by Shindo L and just wrapped that shit up and placed it. And then of course, out of all of the people who had to grab my gift.
There were about 40?
Yeah, there was like 30 or 40 people there, right? I had a 1 in 30 to 40 chance that Sydney would grab my gift. And she grabbed my gift.
No way.
And I was like,
was it all just like a free-for-all? You just grabbed a gift? You didn't have a person?
We
Take numbers.
we had a system. I don't know what
Maylene did it in the most arbitrary system I've ever seen in my life. She
yeah,
was just
we used up like 20 to 30 minutes figuring out a system. And
don't you just normally just go online and type everyone's names in, then it tells you who you're buying a gift for?
No, because it was
That's
like
the
it was
best way.
all like randomized.
Yeah,
so,
that's random though. Like you put everyone's name into a website and it'll be like, Garnt is your Secret Santa. And then they'll get the same thing.
How I always used to do
Joey's
it was
gets
just
Secret
like,
Santa.
for me, it was always just like, okay, there's, all the presents are at the bottom of the tree, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just you just go up and grab them.
No, it's more fun to know who you're buying for, and then.
But then
you
it
don't know
doesn't
who's
become a
buying-
Secret Santa.
No, it's secret because you don't know who's buying for you. You never know who's buying for you.
So this, I don't know if it's different because this was called like White Elephant. So I don't know if the rules are different.
I think it's
the only thing I know is Secret Santa.
White elephant.
White Elephant is basically the same thing, but you just, it's kind of like more of like you buy a random gift that you put into the pool and then like all the gifts are randomized and you kind of like pick from
You
the
don't know
pool
who
or
you're buying
whatever.
for. You don't know who you're getting it from.
So we came up like Maylin, being the mum, came up with this like fucking overly complicated system where she was like, "How many people bought gifts? Everyone, put your hands up right now. Okay, we're all going to assign you a random number and everything like that." And so we spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out the system. And Joey just goes, "Wouldn't it be what's stopping us from just everyone taking a random gift?" And Minnie's like, no, we cannot do that. We need the numbers. We need the numbers.
And so we all had to wait for Maylene to like write like on each individual note fucking pad, just be like write a number and then like put it in a bag and then everyone pick it out and then calling the number. Like I was at the fucking ward office. I was just like waiting for my number. And I'm just like,
she's living in Japan too.
number 21. I'm just like,
She's trying to Japanify it.
She's just trying to Japanify it. I'm just like, oh my god.
It's like, well, welcome to the Japan DMV. This is exactly
So
what it's
Sydney
like.
got your gift.
Sydney got my gift, and I was like, no, all right, come on, Sydney, replace it with someone, because like that's a lame present for you, right?
Yeah.
Like you probably already have a copy of that, so she gave it to Masa instead.
Yeah.
You know, he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I got, I forgot who bought it for me. I got sekihan, which is like the red rice.
Oh.
You know that? So in Japan, there's this thing which is called sekihan, it's red rice, and traditionally you cook it like parents cook it for their daughters when they hit puberty.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Think about that.
Wait, why?
Because they got
period.
their period for the first time.
They get them red rice.
They give them red rice.
because they hit their period.
I'm not joking. You
That's
can look that
fucking
shit up.
nasty,
That
dude.
is a tradition that's been going on, and someone was like, "I'm gonna buy."
That's
Joey
like
some of
me
that.
taking my first shit and you just give me like brown rice.
Give you curry.
brown, just like, oh great. Oh no, my first fecal excretion. I get to have some food that reminds me of it.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my
I got
God.
that. I got a steaming pile of that.
Great.
I-
Well, that'll be great.
Congratulations on getting your period, Joey.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure it tastes great.
I'm now a fully grown woman.
Maybe it'll last until you get a daughter.
I'll just hold on to it, being like, I got this 30 years ago from a Christmas.
Been holding on to this.
Is there any other like Japanese traditions like that? Because I know there's like the coming of age kind of like ceremony, right?
That's just a drink.
Which one?
Drink. You just drink.
You just drink. You just get shit faced.
Is that is oh
You do drink.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's
that's a
also
tradition worldwide, baby.
yeah. There's also shichigo-san, which is like it's this ceremony that you do when your child turns either 3, 5, or 7.
Oh yeah, I've heard this. Yeah.
And I don't know exactly what happens in it because I never did it. But
is it both childs or boys?
I think
crazy?
No, I think it can be either gender, right?
Yeah.
There's a boy thing, right, as well. There's like a boy celebration something. I can't fucking remember what it is.
The penis festival.
Not the penis festival. What's the thing where you put the little fish out? The fish waving
Oh,
things.
Kodomo no Hi? Koinobori. That's
Maybe.
that's Children's Day.
Oh, maybe children.
Yeah, that's May the 5th, and we for
Chris
some
Hansen's
reason we put up these like huge koi, like the koi fish
Yeah.
decorations, and we put them on like the top of a flagpole, and it's just kind of as like a mock-up flag. I don't know what the resemblance.
There's a lot of
that is,
holidays
but
in Japan.
There's a lot of weird holidays like that in Japan. There's also Hinamatsuri, which is like the little dolls as well that
Oh,
you like
yeah,
display
yeah.
for like
Cool.
children as well. Yeah, I don't know. Lots of celebrations for children,
'cause
which
they
is
don't have any.
ironic because Japan has a child
Because they have none.
population.
They have none, so they're like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
just like we don't know what to celebrate.
It's a
children.
it's a momentous occasion when someone's like, "Oh, you decided to have kids in Japan?"
I experienced something truly Japanese the other day.
Go on.
right.
Gotcha.
What?
Gotcha.
Like
Just experienced that.
like gotcha pawn machine?
in the weirdest way ever.
Oh.
Okay.
So I rented a car, and there's an option on the website that was called Gacha Rent a Car, where you just rent a car and you have no fucking clue what car it is. And you only find out when you turn up.
That sounds epic.
Yeah, so I always rent the smallest car anyway, just because
Yeah.
I never have much luggage, and when I'm
Yeah.
doing video shoots, I just need something that can get 3 people to a weird place that a train doesn't go to. So I always just rent like a small car, like a Toyota Yaris or something, right? Like a tiny car, fits 4 people,
Yeah.
has room for bags and stuff. And that's normally like 6,000 yen just for the car for the day. So it's like $45. So
Yeah.
pretty cheap.
Not bad.
And then on the website I saw it was like, oh, but for 4,000 yen, so for $30 basically, like even less than that I think now, you can get a random car for the day. And I thought, well, it can't be worse than the Yaris. Like it can't be worse than the smallest car.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, fuck it, yeah, I'll do it. I'm down. So I turned up and I won the gacha, dude.
Did you get the SSR?
No, I didn't get SSR. I got a pretty decent. I got a fucking Toyota Prius when I turned up.
Okay.
And I was like, I'll take a
That's an
Prius.
upgrade.
I'll take a Prius.
Hell
I
yeah,
know-
that's kind of like a win-win, right? Because if you're always going, if you're always going for the 3-star anyway, then it's only going to go up from there, right?
Yeah, literally. I'm literally pulling for the most dog shit thing normally. So I'm like, hey, if I get.
But what's to say the 3-star is the lowest, right? What if you show up and it's like, here's your bicycle?
Yeah, it could be.
It could be.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the SSR is like a Lambo, right?
So I think the way it works is whatever, because obviously people bringing cars back. I think it's whatever car is just kind of like awkwardly kind of at that renter car where it's someone else doesn't need it yet, so they don't transfer it. You just kind of get it. So I got a Toyota Prius, and I was like, oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, for less price as well, right?
Yeah, the Prius is normally like $100 a day.
Oh, hell
so
yeah.
I was like, let's fucking
Dude,
go.
you got it.
But I did have to Google how to. I was in the car, the Prius. I'd never driven a Prius before, and I couldn't fucking find the handbrake. I was like, how the fuck do I get the handbrake?
Right.
So I'm sitting in the thing, and the guy's asking me like, oh, you know how to drive this, right? And I was like, yeah, it's a fucking car. I know how to drive it.
It's a fucking Prius.
Puts it into drive. It's not moving. What the fuck?
Is it the foot pedal one?
Is it?
Yeah, and I've never seen them on these before.
Oh, really?
I've literally never been in the car where it's a foot pedal handbrake.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the car, and the guy, the car host with me and my cameraman, he's like, do you know how to get it out of the handbrake? And I was like, I have no fucking clue. Yeah. So I'm like, hey Google, how do I get the Prius out of handbrake on and off? And then a YouTube video, guys. This is really easy. This is the pedal at the bottom. It's a tiny little pedal.
Yeah.
You just push it in, and then it's the handbrake. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, my mom had a Prius sign.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever seen that before?
I've never seen that
I've
before.
never seen. It's this tiny little hidden thing next to like where the brake is.
Yeah,
right.
And it's just
It's like
you
a
just
third
push it-
pedal next to the brake.
tiny, like the fucking size of this.
Fuck.
And you just push it in, and that's the handbrake. And I was like, oh, okay. But it was great. I mean, it was so cheap. Like with all the gas and stuff, I think the gas was only like, because it's a Prius, it was only like $20 for gas.
Woo.
So the whole day, the rental car was like fucking
Just
30,
paid
40
for
bucks.
itself,
Paid
right?
for
Paid for
itself.
itself.
It's crazy how like, because, you know, obviously the trains are great in Japan, but there are a lot of occasions where a car makes way more sense.
Yeah.
And so, we were going to Fuji-Q, which you can get a train or a bus to pretty easily. But I just want to be able to go there.
I wish they would do that with all public transport, just being
Gotcha.
like, it's like, okay, so you want to get to this station? Take the train gacha.
Honestly,
You won't know which
honestly,
train you're going on.
I feel like we need more gacha
I
in
hope you
every
can get there
aspect of
safe
our
and sound,
lives.
though.
If there was like, let's say like on a plane, right? There's
Yeah.
30 economy seats, 2 premium, 1 business.
Yeah.
And you can just be like, fuck it, gacha.
Pull the gacha.
But it's a slightly more than economy. Like it's
Yeah.
slightly
Yeah.
more. You're like, fuck it, there's a chance. I can itself.
Play the fucking restaurant.
Hey, they
gacha.
should do it.
You know?
They should-
Go to the restaurant and they give you the menu and be like,
Yeah.
you can pay for less, but
the
it's
bottle of wine, the
gachified.
bottle of wine gacha.
Yeah, wine gacha.
You could get the Dom Perignon, or you could get a
Or you could get a
crap-
Capri Sun.
or you get a Capri Sun.
Actually, because one of my favorite restaurants do actually have like a gacha machine. In
Oh yeah,
it.
you took me to it.
Yeah. It's
There's a
like,
gacha when you leave.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
There's this Italian restaurant, and if you spend, a certain amount of money, you get free pulls on this gacha machine, and you can win either like a free drink or like a free meal, or a lot of other stuff. So I don't know.
There's a lot of izakayas that I've been to in Japan where it's like it's
fucking love
kind of gacha, but it's like they use like the dice rolling game.
Oh, I fucking love
Or-
that game.
yeah.
That's the Yakuza game, right?
Yeah, the Chinchiro, it's
Yeah,
called.
Chinchiro.
But like it's like 2 dice in a bowl.
Yeah.
And like the one that's near kind of my house is like if you buy a beer, you can do Chinchiro for it, which is where like depending on what's thrown,
Yeah.
you can either get like a bigger price for the same price, or you can get a bigger price for free. Or if you get like 2 ones, then you have to like do 5 shots. Or it's like, it's
Yeah.
just like it's just this kind of like cool, fun little method to be like, all right, let's see.
Is that the
let's see what
game
we get.
because I learned how to play this game after I watched Kaiji.
Yeah.
Is it the same game they play in Kaiji season 2? That's just
Chinchiro,
Chinchiro?
yeah.
Oh, okay. I love fucking, it's a good game.
Yeah.
Really,
Chinchiro.
really good game. Yeah.
I played it in the bar. Pete taught me how to play.
Yeah.
I went to a bar in Japan and the owner would play Chinchiro with you.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you
Did you
lose,
win?
I lost sometimes. So if you lose, you had to do a shot of Jaeger.
Yeah.
And so like the bar owner lost like 3 times and did like 3 shots of Jaeger. It's pretty fun. It's
Yeah,
a good
it's
game.
super fun.
You should Google how to play it. I could explain, but it takes like a few minutes.
There's lots
to
of
explain.
local rules as well where it
Yeah.
changes.
Yeah.
but it's fun.
Basically roll high.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Like get doubles.
Yeah,
And triples.
I went to like a craft beer place the other day that had a pretty cool system as well. So they, you can obviously buy like normal like glasses and normal pints and everything like that. But they also have this special system where it's like one price for a certain amount of drink, right? And then it's kind of like a tier system. So this drink will always be this one price. But if you can finish this drink, you can order more of the same beer. But then the next beer you get is going to be a bigger size and volume.
Oh, I've been to a place like this.
Oh.
And it gets to a point where it gets like a comically big size of volume, like a fucking bucket by the end. That's like
Yeah.
the final tier. And I remember me and Cindy went there and we were just like, let's try and do it. Let's try and complete the game.
Yeah.
And I want to take some of my mates there sometime just to see like
At
what
what level?
if we take a Brit there? You know, what if we take a fucking
Take a
Brit
German there.
like a German there? See how far we get
Yeah.
because we got to like the second to last tier and we were like fucking.
What was the
slush.
vessel?
What was the vessel?
Yeah, what was the vessel?
It
of the
was
drink?
like
Are we talking like a boot or?
Yeah, what was it?
it was you know when you see like some of that like that comically big wine glass that's just like, oh, I'm only gonna have one glass of wine.
yeah.
Pours
Only
an
a
entire bottle
spoonful.
glass of wine in there. Yeah, that was like the second to last stage.
Holy shit.
And then the final stage was just it was just like a fucking glass bucket almost. Like it was like kind of like a yard
I
basically.
think there's a few of places that do that gimmick in Japan.
Yeah.
Because it's like I've been to one like that in Roppongi as well.
Yeah.
That was.
We should do it to see out of the three of us who can complete it.
I did beer last time I went, and I think that was a mistake because like by
Yeah.
I think the second one or third one, I was really full.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't drink this bucket. I can't drink out of this. It's not even fun to drink anymore.
Yeah.
Like it just becomes not fun.
It just becomes a
Yeah.
chore.
I just rather have a bunch of small glasses the way everyone has been doing for
Yep.
a very long time.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
it is fun for a one-off.
Yeah, I mean, I like going to places where they kind of like, they kind of just gamify something, whether it's like fucking gacha or
Dude,
having
there's like so much gacha shit here. So much gacha stuff in daily life.
Yeah.
Like even like you go to Akihabara, you can play those gacha machines for like 10, 20 bucks.
Yep.
And you might get something, but normally you get something kind of.
yeah.
And yeah. it's
One
kinda-
thing I've never understood is, have you ever like gone to like an anime convention, right? And they have like those special mystery boxes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's one thing I like. That's one thing I've never gotten, and I don't understand why people would get them. Because do you think they actually put like good gifts in there? Or
So I think it originated, it's a New Year's thing in Japan, right? It's how it started. And they're normally actually pretty generous.
right.
Like it's meant to be like a lot of the times you have to book these and they're limited.
A lot of the times as well, like especially some of the more expensive ones, like the ones that you have to book.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff in these lucky, they're called fukubukuro. But like in these fukubukuro, like there's a lot of stuff where you can only get it in the lucky bag. Like it's
Right.
not sold anywhere else. It's like a special like package, but like you won't know what it is until you get it.
Like I got one last time from Ami. It was $500, and I definitely got more than $500 worth of figures
Yeah.
in the box.
The Pokemon one, for example, that they do at the Pokemon Center every year, like you have to book that shit like 4 months in advance.
Jesus.
I didn't realize you had to book this shit.
Yeah,
man. Holy
of course
crap.
you do. It's Japan.
Yeah, you have to all the good ones you have to book, but you also generally it's more of like a celebratory thing than a let's make a lot of money. It's like
Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
let's just
It's like Happy New Year.
yeah,
here's some
Happy
cool
New
shit.
Year because New Year's one of the biggest things in Japan. And then I think when American cons saw it, they were like, money.
Is this a money making scheme?
Because
I
remember,
see?
in AX, there was always that one booth, and I can't remember which one it was. There was that one where they would make the walls were the lucky boxes. Do you remember these?
Yes.
At Anime Expo, they would just have a booth that was made out of these lucky boxes.
Yeah, I remember that.
And dude, you just they had never had anything good in there.
No.
Never.
They're good for content. That's about it.
Even then, like Mudan, our editor, did a video of I think with Hart unboxing one of them, and it's just the saddest thing ever. And it was like $50, and there was like nothing good in it. He gave me like a Squid Game plush that wouldn't shut up. It was like a tiny one.
Yeah.
And then you press it, and it goes. "Da, da, da," whatever the fucking siren thing is.
yeah,
And I was like, oh my god, this is so shit.
It's funny.
Oh man. What's normal to do in Japan for like New Year's? What's like the tradition here?
The tradition is to.
Do you have to go to like a temple, right?
Yeah, temple. Oh, that's usually New Year's Day.
Okay.
But like for me, like this year, I'm going back to my grandma's place up north.
Nice.
Because like it's very much like it's weird. Like Christmas and New
Don't you mean
Year's.
you already went to your grandma's place, Joey?
Yeah,
It's the
I
New
did.
Year. It's the
It
New
was
Year, Joey.
fantastic. I loved it. Yeah, so I think it's interesting because like I thought about this is like Christmas and New Year's, how it's celebrated in the West is like the complete opposite to how it's celebrated in Japan.
Yeah.
Because it's like in the West, it's like Christmas is for the family, and then New Year's is where you get sloshed with your mates.
Right.
Right. But in Japan, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Christmas is like a couples thing, or you get sloshed with your single friends. I've been there.
Yeah.
And New Year's is when you go back home and you spend it with your family. Right. And so, like, at least for me, like, the tradition is, like, usually I go back to my grandma's place, like, a few days before New Year's Eve, and then we do, like, a big, like, final cleanup of the house to kind of, like, you know, not to, like, physically clean up the house, but also just, like, to refresh ourselves, like, you know, for the upcoming year.
That's
right?
what they say. Yeah, you come in and clean my house, right?
Yeah. It's just an excuse for my grandma to be my clean my house bitch. So I go there, I clean the house, and then we have this thing called toshikoshi soba, which is you have this bowl of soba as your final meal. And for the year, not in general.
It's just your final meal.
You will be put down.
You'll be put down. So, pop. Yeah, it's toshikoshi soba, and I don't remember what the exact reasoning behind why you eat the soba is, but there's like some kind of like traditional reasoning behind why you would do it. So then you would eat that, and then the New Year's happens, and then you go to the temple first thing in the morning usually to do like, you know, your first prayers and stuff like that. And then you eat osechi, which is like a type of traditional Japanese, like huge fucking platter of like, I think like 50 different things, like small little different things. Like imagine what you get.
I think I've seen this. You can like seen this to be able to book it. I think I've seen it.
Yeah, you usually you book it. I mean, people who are like pros just like make it themselves.
Damn.
But like think of like, you know, like the breakfast at a ryokan.
Yeah.
Think of that by like 4 times the size.
Yeah.
And you share it among your entire family, right? And it's really good, but it's like, it's definitely something you can't have.
Is it like the chocolate boxes where there's like everyone likes the one chocolate and everyone's like,
Yeah.
can I have that?
Yeah, can I have like that,
I have
that,
that
and
one?
then I'm good.
I don't want the fucking squid cum. You can have that. I'm good.
Yeah, there's always like 2 or 3 that are just like untouched.
Yeah,
and
no
it's
one
like,
wants them.
I'm good,
Yeah.
fam. Looks nice.
It's just there for
please.
variation.
Yeah, help yourself.
I feel like there are some food items that people just buy just for like, oh, it's just because everyone else bought it before. Even
Do you,
though
do you
no one
have
eats it.
like Quality Street in Australia?
What's that?
Okay, fuck, that's a British thing.
Quality, like,
There's
like-
chocolate.
like
box.
Quality Street. Do you have a quality street? No.
It's like Quality Street. Is that what it's called, right?
Yeah, it's quality street.
I've heard of it
It's like
before,
kind of like just a
Extremely
different type
British.
of chocolates.
Right.
It's a lot of
Is it
different
the
types
different
of
colored
chocolates.
ones?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's like a triangle that's purple.
Yeah, I've
green.
seen it
Yeah.
before, I think. Yeah.
And I think there was I saw an episode of QI that was like the favorite pieces that everyone likes, they purposely put less in the box of, which fucking is cruel. It's cruel.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been swindled, bamboozled, lied to.
I was like, that's fucked up.
Bro, that's just a waste of food, man. You could have more chocolate if people are eating.
They don't want to put the good stuff in. The good stuff's expensive. It's annoying.
They probably do that with they probably do that with like a bunch of different ones, right? I'm sure.
I think so. Do you have celebrations?
Yeah.
Okay, you have those.
We have
okay.
those, yeah.
I'm sure any American,
best ones, there's-
non-British people are like, what the fuck?
Celebrations, there's only like 2 of the best ones.
Okay, wait. What is it? What is the best 2 in the celebrations?
I actually like most of the celebrations.
I like most of them, but the Malteser one is the best.
Maltesers.
It's like a chocolate Malteser one.
What chocolates are in there
What the
again?
fuck?
I got.
So this is
Google
so British now.
Yeah, we're going to British chocolates now.
Wait,
Basically,
okay, but like it might be different because like, do you guys have cherry ripe?
The fuck is that?
Okay, that's Australian.
What the fuck is that?
That's the
Wait,
best
what?
one.
What?
Yeah, see, Kai knows what's up. Yeah.
What is it? Explain that to me.
Cherry ripe is it's this chocolate bar that has like kind of I don't even know what the hell it is. It's this cherry flavored something inside of it. It's like cherry chocolate. I actually don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It's delicious.
Yeah, okay. So in British celebrations, it's kind of like a box of different kind of famous chocolate bars, just like in very, very tiny candy form.
Yeah.
So we have Maltesers, Mars bars,
Okay.
Twix, Snickers,
Yeah.
Milky Way, Bounty, Galaxy, and Galaxy Caramel. And I think Galaxy is the best. Yes.
Nah, dude. Maltesers teasers are the goat, dude. If you haven't, you got to have one of these.
Okay.
If you come to the UK at some point, I'm sure because we
Yeah.
eat it outside, but it's a very, very festive thing as well. People buy them.
Okay.
They're so fucking good. Yeah. They advertise hard for the holidays, dude.
Okay.
I don't know if this is a white people thing, but they're in like every white person's home.
There must be a white people thing, 'cause I
realized-
didn't even know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
was a festive
after
thing.
talking to Garnt so much, I'm like, I have to reframe how I view the UK. I'm like, no, it's not the UK. It's the white
white
people.
UK.
It's the white people. Because I only have experienced the UK through the lens of white people. Because I'm obviously white.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like me with Easter chocolates, where I
Nah, fuck that. Easter's overrated.
Easter's. I like the Easter chocolates. I don't know why. You could have like a Cadbury's milk bar, milk chocolate bar, and I'm like, I will buy the egg version. Eating it in egg form, I don't know, just makes it taste so much better. I don't know why.
It's something about like slowly breaking off.
It
the
is.
pieces,
It is
you know?
right. It is.
So
I get that.
I don't know why this is a thing, but this is so fucking British now I'm saying it out loud. Often when you buy these Easter eggs in the UK, they would come in these boxes. And for some reason, they'd always come with mugs. They would you would get an Easter egg that would come with a mug that was branded like if it was Cadbury's, it would be a mug, a very cheap mug with the Cadbury's logo on it.
Right.
And this was a thing. Like, did you have this in Australia? So this was like, it was, you'd always get the chocolate bar and a mug. Do you remember this?
I remember this. Yeah.
And then I realized, I'm like, oh wait, I just remembered in university, everyone would bring mugs and stuff. And I swear half the fucking mugs were just Easter egg mugs. Because they're the cheapest, shittest mugs that your parents wouldn't mind letting you take to university.
Right.
Do you remember seeing these now all the time in university?
Now that you remind me, I'm just having like fucking.
Yeah, the wave.
Fucking
I
wave
remember
of
I see the
flashback.
fucking Cadbury and Kit Kat logo on these fucking mugs all the time. Dude, it looks so shit. Let me pull it up. Muda, can you pull this up? It looks so pathetic.
I can imagine.
Easter eggs mugs.
Oh, those?
It's those ones. It's those ones. God, just
So
saying
look,
that.
look, it would come like this. It would come like this, right? It's like it would be the egg in the mug or like adjacent to it, and this was like
I've
everywhere.
never seen that.
Yeah, it was everywhere. Like every single fucking chocolate bar did this. It was insane. And now I think about it, I'm like, why the fuck do we want so many mugs? This is too many mugs.
For the tea.
Yeah, but I already have mugs.
That's the thing about every like British home. There is always an overabundance of mugs.
Oh, so
right.
many.
It's
And there's the nice mugs. And,
Yeah.
and these are the shittest the shit. And if you ever go to like a government building or you ever go to a hospital or any kind of thing and you get a cup of tea, guaranteeing it's coming out in a mug the exact same quality as this one.
Thank God.
Because they're like the replaceable mugs.
Yeah.
Because like the actual good mugs, no one gets those. No one's allowed to
It's
drink
like
out
once
of
you're
them.
finished with that, we just chuck it at a wall.
Probably. They'll probably just throw it away.
did you ever have like did your household ever had like a soft tier list of like mugs in your home? You know,
Yes.
you have like the cheap ones, but when you like want to treat yourself, you have like your personal
There
mug.
was like 2 or 3 mugs, whereas my dad was just like, those are my fucking mugs, don't touch it.
Well, because it was like some mugs were like China, like with some nicer quality.
Yeah,
they were still
yeah.
mugs. And whenever I used it, my mum wanted a cup of tea. She's like, why do you keep using the mug I like? That's my mug. I'm like, I thought you weren't going to have a tea, so I took it. I just thought it was okay. Because it was such a good mug.
Like I swear to God, every British person has like
Everyone has a favorite mug.
Has that one mug where they become like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, don't use this mug. This is my mug. We have
Every
plenty
British
of mugs.
person is like this because everyone drinks so much fucking tea or coffee that you need a mug. You need the goat mug. And I like ones that are like I've come to become very fond of like deep, very like cylindrical mugs, not the ones that like curve up. Just a fucking cylinder. Chop it off, boom, big mug. I hate the ones that like curve up, like those ones. They're shit.
Like teacup looking ones, right?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those.
No,
I just want
those
this
ones.
like literally a perfect cylinder. Just chop it in half. Boom, that's the mug. Give it to me.
I like the kind of like oval shaped ones. I don't
Yeah,
know.
they're pretty like that.
Oh, like
yeah, like this one.
like the
actually.
kind of dumpy ones.
Yeah, like literally like this one, maybe like a little bigger.
Yeah.
Kind of feels like I'm drinking from the medieval ages or something. I don't know.
No,
something
no.
something
What are you
about.
talking about? That's not medieval.
I mean, so some of the designs I have in my house. Also, my mom has so much fucking.
Yeah, your dude.
Yeah, your mom has a collection.
Your mom's house feels like a Looney Tunes accident waiting to happen.
It is.
You walk in and you're like, I can't touch anything. If I touch a wall, everything will break.
It's like a Foley artist's nightmare.
I just remember doing VR in the living room with this fucking china all over the wall.
Yeah, so
Hard mode.
to explain, my mom had, like, for my entire life, has, let's say, had this hobby of collecting kind of like antique, kind of like very there's a word for it now because it's kind of become a trend.
It's coming back in fashion now.
Yeah, it's kind of like very bougie, kind of like teacups and china and stuff like that. So my entire life, I felt like I was surrounded by like Jenga pieces, and if I would make the wrong move, then the entire house would come falling down.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I felt. And I kind of just got used to it until people like started coming around my house and everything like that. And people,
What's up with the mugs?
And people like, what's up with all this China, man? What's up with that?
Dude, like whenever you would like come home drunk, you must be just fucking sweating.
God, it was,
Because it's like a Mission Impossible like dodge the lasers thing, right? Just like I need to get to my room, but there are mugs everywhere.
yeah.
Thank God the earthquake. UK doesn't have earthquakes.
Exactly.
my
Oh, this would
It'd
not
be
work.
game over,
This would
dude.
not work in Japan at all.
Hell
Like,
no.
I don't think I don't know how I can properly verbalize just how many like precious,
There's a lot.
There's a
precious
lot.
like antiques and like mugs.
It like goes
and
up the stairs as well, right?
She has literally like filled up every wall with like nice fine china, like plates. Okay, we don't have posters. I never grew up with having posters or paintings on my wall. My walls were filled with plates and china glasses. Okay, that's what my walls were. And yeah, by complete. I don't know if it was coincidence or nice like luck. They've come into fashion. So she's ended up being like she's like selling. She's able to like turn this hobby and turn it into like kind of like a hobby where she can make money out of because
sick.
holy shit, people buy this for like a fucking ridiculous price in Asia.
Yeah.
It's I'm hoping none of my mum's customers watch this because they buy it for like a very, very high price. I'm like, motherfucker, I saw you buy this for 50 pence at the car boot sale. What?
Supply and demand, man. Supply and
Your
demand.
mom's just like,
when there's demand, man.
It's
you
like
know?
a lifetime's, well, like I could see my lifetime's worth of my mum going to car boot sales, buying this shit for like 50p a pound a piece.
it's like that's not gonna come back.
And like selling it for like a God knows the amount of like,
Oh my
profit
God.
margin on that, man.
Jesus Christ.
Good on you, mum. But
Inflation.
yeah, good on you, mum. But please keep selling them because I want my house back. I want to walk in my house and not feel like I'm going to break something.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was certainly weird growing up with that kind of environment. Okay, actually, this reminded me about a totally different topic. Okay, decorating a room, right? My house was always decorated with, as I said, like teacups and plates and something like that. So I never really got to like, let's say, I never really got to a point where I knew what to do with decorating my own room. I never had posters. I never had like different things in my room to like show my own personality. What like, I'm guessing you put a lot of like music posters in your room and stuff like that, right?
I don't even know how to get posters.
What do you mean?
How do I get them?
What do you mean? Just go to stores.
I don't have money. Where are you getting this money from?
They were like $3.
No,
at
they
most.
were like the good posters were like £5 in the UK. And that was a lot.
No,
And I
no.
was
You
like-
don't get the good ones. You get the shit ones.
So I only ever put shitty posters out when it came in like a magazine for free.
Right.
And I think I
Yeah,
also
that's where you start off.
yeah, I think I got a free poster of Halo in like Halo Reach or something. And I put that shit on the wall.
Did you ever have trouble like decorating your room in university? Because
I didn't decorate my room.
You didn't at all?
No, it looked like a serial killer's room. I had nothing on the walls, nothing. I didn't get in my head. I was like, why would I decorate? Like I'm leaving this room in a year.
Oh, that's true. That's true. But I've seen some university rooms and they are like filled to the fucking brim with like different stuff. And I was like, how the fuck are you affording this?
Yeah, I think I never decorated ever.
I had like one poster and that was it.
Yeah,
it was I think I
that's
bought
it.
one poster just so like if anyone came in here, they wouldn't think they were going into a
what was
serial
the
killer's
poster?
room. It was I think it was like a fucking Scarface poster. I was just like, let me buy something from like the university fair. And I was like, what's something I can buy that's cheap that would also make me feel like a normal person? 'Cause
Scarface is that poster that's on the brink of like, I'm a normal person, but I'm a little bit quirky.
no, that was it. That was it. Because I was
That's
like,
he was just waiting for the Wolf of Wall Street to come out, so you put a different poster up.
because I was like, well, I can't put anime on my wall. That just
That's
means,
out of the question.
That's out of the question. That just means I'm just going to be shunned from every social group in university.
Yeah.
This was back when anime wasn't accepted. So I was like, let me pretend to be a normal human. Let me scientifically work this out. What is something I can put on my wall that's like, oh, I got a little bit of personality, but
It's either Scarface.
I'm a little bit quirky.
It's
you
either
know?
Scarface or Pulp Fiction. Those are the only two choices.
That was the two things.
That was the only two
It was
choices.
just like either Scarface or Pulp Fiction, and that was it.
I just always wanted to to spend my money on food. So I thought, I'm not going to decorate my room. It's dumb. I'm also like, if I'm moving like every year, I'm like, what's the point in decorating? I just put a PC in my room. That's decorating.
Did you move every year?
Yeah, every single year of university I moved.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
Well, because the first year I was in student dorms, and in the UK, I don't know if I was in your university. In mine, you were only allowed to be in student dorms for 1 year. And then you had to find your own accommodation.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously, because like, some roommates dropped out and some roommates, whatever, like people it changed. So I just always moved every year.
Yeah.
But I was only in university for 3 years.
Yeah.
So, it was only moved.
I was living at home, so I was just
lucky.
decorating my own room.
Did you like? I had this like weird conversation with Sydney the other day, because like Sydney was like, Sydney found this like fucked up movie iceberg tier list kind of thing, and
I think I've watched that.
you watched that.
I think I've watched it.
Yeah,
Is that like the 2.5 hour one on YouTube?
No, she just found like the image of it, right?
Oh.
And I come home and she's like, I'm thinking about like going through this iceberg. I was like, Sydney, do not fucking do that. Because I don't really like horror movies, and I'm not really like I don't really have like, I have morbid curiosity, but I've been.
But you also have a sense of reason.
I also have a sense of reason as well. But I ended up, I looked at the iceberg tier list, and I ended up realizing that I've seen a lot of these movies, and the reason because of that is because when I went to university, there was a phase where people like your roommates, you always knew that fucking one guy that would try to like show you the most fucked up thing that they could find, whether it be something like a Serbian film or other like things they found on the internet.
Something on like Reddit 50/50 or something. Right?
Yeah, and Sydney had just like never experienced that. So I was like realizing, is this a me thing that happened in my phase?
I had that fucked up friend
Yeah.
too.
Right.
It's either in high school or in college. Like
Yeah, it
you
was in
had
high
that
school for
one.
me.
Yeah, it was in high school for me. It was like that one kid that was just like, do you know what Reddit 50/50
Kept
is?
trying to like meat
Let's
spin
do it.
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, meat
trying to-
spin
trying to
everyone,
goatee
lemon
everyone.
party everyone.
It
just,
made me wonder
yeah.
if it's still a phase, because I think it became a phase because of shit like, two girls, one cup and everything like that. So I'm like, dude,
The good old days.
It's like anyone in university now, anyone in college or high school, is this still a thing?
For sure.
Where
Are you guys still showing each other 2 girls, 1 cup?
hey, as long as there's the internet, someone wants to be a little edgelord and
course.
get
Yeah.
people else involved, right?
course.
That's how life is.
God,
Yeah.
I saw some of the most traumatic shit in high school just because of that one fucking friend.
yeah, to that one friend who is not a friend anymore.
Yeah,
fuck
you.
You've literally scarred me for life with some of the shit that you've shown me.
Yeah.
I do not want to like.
Oh no. It's
horrible.
Poor Garnt.
Yeah, I'm ready to like fucking fatten myself up for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm gonna gain a lot of weight on purpose. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna gain so much weight. I just eat and drink like a motherfucker around the holidays. I
Yeah,
just
of
don't
course.
stop. I
Yeah.
become like No Face in that one fucking clip. I haven't even seen that movie, so I don't even know what happened in there.
Wait, you've never seen Spirited Away?
No,
What?
no.
What?
What?
Wait, are you actually serious?
Yeah,
I
I've never
like how
seen
you
it.
talked about that with such confidence and familiarity. I'm like,
Oh, I've seen that fucking.
I'm like fucking no face.
I've seen that GIF like a billion fucking times.
Have you actually never seen it?
Never seen it.
That's shocking.
Yeah. For a long time, I just lied and said I did because I was just
I
like.
think I remember you saying you have told me.
Yeah.
Probably because I was just kind of like, it's like saying you haven't watched Death Note.
Right.
So I was like, why the fuck have you watched Death Note? It's like, well, I just don't care to. But I've watched Death Note. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
I was going to say, yeah, I remember you saying you have watched Death Note.
so if you're lying on
I
that
think
as
I
well.
lied. I think one time we had a conversation where you were like, "Oh yeah, Princess Mononoke, it's so dark." And I said, "Yeah," but I've never watched Princess Mononoke either.
Have you seen any Ghibli film? then?
I've never watched My Neighbor Totoro either.
Totoro's fine. Totoro's
that's
fine.
Why is that the one that I'm?
Because that's purely like driven off nostalgia.
The only Ghibli film I've watched, and this is within the past 5 years, I only watched as well. Before that, I hadn't even watched any. It was like Howl's Moving Castle, which I liked,
That's a good movie.
and Kiki's Delivery Service.
Okay.
That was kind of mid.
Yeah. It's all right.
Just kind
It's
of.
alright.
I like it.
So yeah, I never watched Spirited Away.
Okay, if you like Howl's Moving Castle, you'll like Spirited Away.
Yeah,
Did you like Howl's Moving Castle?
yeah, I liked Howl.
Okay.
Howl was the goal.
Yeah, how's it
Did you watch the
go?
dub of
Howl was the
that?
goal. Yeah, I watched the dub.
Yeah, Christian Bale, right?
That's Christian Bale.
Yeah, it's Christian Bale.
Yeah, it's Christian Bale.
Fuck
Yeah.
off, that's Christian Bale.
Christian
It's
Bale.
What the fuck? He's the goat, man. What can't he do? What can't Christian Bale do? I swear to God, man, he does everything.
I love those moments where you're just like talking about a movie that you love, and then someone says like, "Yeah, did you know he's voiced by that guy?" And it's just
Yeah.
like,
I had no idea that was Christian Bale.
Well, to be fair, it's really fucking hard to tell.
He's so fucking good at disappearing into the character.
Yeah,
He is.
like I don't like he's a Welshman, right? And you can never tell that he's a Welshman. I swear he has like a different accent every.
I think he was
movie.
born in Wales, then immediately moved to London, I think, or America. He's got a. I remember he spoke about it once.
Right.
But yeah, I think he was born in Wales.
It's funny though how so many people just are like, yeah, he's American, right?
Well, I mean, he's so fucking good at appearing American.
Yeah. Have you watched Chainsaw Man? Recently?
Yeah, I'm 9 episodes in. I like it so far. It's something, man. I'm kind of glad that we finally got a show that was hyped and so
Followed
far
through?
has been
Yeah.
following through.
Yeah.
Like every episode
Sure.
is a delight. It's fucking weird.
It's just insane. Every episode is like a movie budget. Like
It's a lot.
Crazy.
The fact that there's a different ending every time as
Yeah.
well. Like it's kind of insane. I am blown away.
2023, it's just fucking sweating.
Yeah, I
Being like,
am-
oh fuck, we gotta live up to that.
It's
Shit.
kind of crazy. Even as like even if I wasn't a fan of the show, it's like you watching it, you're like, you just can't not be amazed by it. Like even if you don't enjoy it.
It's fucking insane.
story.
Yeah.
I like the story is crude sometimes, but I like it. I think it's fun.
I mean, I like it's obviously a bit edgier than like a lot of like, other
For sure. It
shonen,
feels
but-
like edgy.
Yeah,
on
but I
purpose
don't
times.
feel like it's like edgy for the sake of being like edgy, which
Yeah.
we see with like some other shows, you know, where it's just like, oh, this is the show that's aimed towards 15-year-olds that, you know, want to think they're watching something adult. You know?
No, it's
Fuck-
clearly just like
Yeah.
Fujimoto just being like, I don't give a fuck if people like this or not. Like, this is just how I'm gonna make my story and how I'm gonna make my characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of amazed at one point in episode 9. The episode before ends with this scene, and then they reuse the scene in the next episode, but they reanimate it very slightly, entirely, all over again. And I'm like, okay, now that's too much. That's just a waste. Like, this is insane, but this is like, what?
Yeah.
And it's all insane animation. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't understand how much money or time power, can't say money again, I got in trouble. Like, and the amount of time, money, and effort put into this must be another level. Like, the amount of talent that must have gone into this is insane.
What blows my mind is when people like look at something and think good animation, they think, oh, the fight scene was like good, or they think of the fight scene like Chainsaw Man just looks good in like every
Just
single second.
the talking scenes.
Oh my god, it's so fucking every shot is so like dynamic, right? It's like you know sometimes you watch an anime, it's just like always like basic shot for shot for shot. There always feels like there's some thought put into how this looks on film.
It's like, what angle have we not put a camera at yet?
God,
Like, let's do it.
yeah.
Let's do it from there.
God,
Yeah.
I know you've read the manga, but you
Yeah.
you need to watch the anime, man.
I am
'Cause, like-
watching it.
Oh, you are watching it
Yeah,
as
of
well?
course. I kind of.
Plot twist of the year.
I kind of have to. Like,
I don't-
I think I would actually be hung and quartered if I didn't watch
The
it.
anime is so good that I'm like, I really don't want to touch the manga. I'm like, this is
but it's
insane.
so good.
I know, I bet it is, but like watching the anime, I'm like, there's no
I think
way.
this first season's only going to end halfway, too.
Probably.
Yeah, I think the manga's as good as the anime.
I agree.
I've been doing something like little quirky. I've been watching the anime, then reading the manga.
Oh, okay.
Shut the fuck up, God. Don't fucking say that shit to me. Why the fuck did you do that?
Why
would you do that? Why?
Because why I did that? Because anime is my medium of choice, if I have a choice. And the anime is doing an amazing production. But I think Tatsuki Fujimoto, the mangaka, is an absolute fucking genius.
I agree.
He uses manga in a way that no other manga artist, I think, has done. He has such a unique way of conveying like his ideas and emotions, and it's a way that is impossible to replicate in any other medium. Because
He's able to draw it in a way that looks and feels cinematic.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I think is really hard to do in the medium of manga. Like,
Yeah.
because, you know, again, it's like a lot like with a lot of anime. It's like you have your bog standard, like, flow of panels. And, like, you know, maybe every now and then there'll be an artist that'll be like, oh, I'm going to draw outside of the panel, like literally outside of the panel to kind of add like dynamic to it. But like Fujimoto just kind of draws it in a way where it's just like, this flows in a really smooth way, but it's also a really strange feeling
yeah.
at the same time.
Like now that I've like read like what's been adapted so far in the manga, I'm like, how the fuck does Tatsuki Fujimoto have better comedic timing in the manga, which has no comedic timing, than in the anime, right? It's he's the job he's done with this, like the way he's like paneled and laid out his page. It like the scenes in the manga, there are like some funny scenes that are like way funnier, I think, in the manga than in the anime. And it's just because of the way that he's kind of like timed it really well with how like you turn the page and stuff like that.
Do you have any examples that you might be able to think of on the spot?
I can't think of off the top of my head.
I just wondered if you did.
Yeah, I think there's a few things that I think are impossible to translate to the anime. Like one thing I can think of is how can I say this without spoiling anything that happens? So there is a weapon that involves a nail, right? If you're like you've
9. I'm on episode 9.
You're on episode 9. You should have seen it then. There's a weapon that involves a nail.
Maybe
it's like a demon kind of thing, right?
a nail, as in this nail.
As in
doom. Okay,
nail.
all right. Then no, I haven't.
What's this nail?
I don't. Oh, this nail.
Oh,
I've seen something that involves this. I haven't seen something that involves this.
No, you have.
Yeah, if you've episode
if you're
9,
up to episode 9, you have.
you definitely have.
Have I?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Did you think it was a sword?
Maybe it was a sword. Maybe you should, I don't know. All right. Okay, we'll carry on.
Yeah. But there's a scene where he uses this weapon, and obviously it's a weapon that's like infused with a demon, right?
Yeah.
So there's this like really cool panel where, like to use this weapon, you have to have a contract with a devil. That's what every weapon is, right? And so how he portrays that this weapon is controlled by this devil is that you have like the normal panels, and that's how it is throughout the entire manga, every comic book. And then when he uses this weapon, a finger just appears goes from like outside of like the box panels, right? And so it kind of like flicks from out of frame into frame. And you're like,
that's cool.
Oh, that's really fucking cool to be like, oh, there's something that's being like called out from like outside this world and shit like that. And I'm like, you can't really do that in anime because it's we don't have boxes and shit like that. But it's like small things like that where he really thinks about how do I do something that is really cool that only manga can do. And he does this in not just like
you've convinced me.
Not just Chainsaw Man, but pretty much everything I've read from him. He does something unique to manga that I've not seen anywhere else. And that's true, especially if you've not read. I would highly recommend Goodbye Eri, which is like a one shot. You can read that within like
that is
an hour.
so genius.
Yeah, and I was like, I've never read something that is just like so. It's a masterpiece in my mind. So fucking genius. Yeah.
I mean, Chainsaw Man. I've loved it so far.
Chainsaw Man is great.
Think it's crazy to see. Because again, we've had hyped up shows, but I don't think we've had a show that's been this hyped up in so long.
I don't think ever.
Yeah. It's insane to see it kind of meeting it and kind of crushing it.
Because I was a bit worried because I remember watching like the first 6 episodes. I'm like, this is cool, but it's kind of like your standard affair right now.
Yeah, from episode like 5, 6 onwards, it definitely got way more exciting. And it's been like so fun watching it. But also I'm sad that I have to wait every week.
I'm sad that we're gonna have to wait for a season 2. Hopefully.
Is the manga finished?
Part 1 of the manga is finished. So he's currently writing. So he went on a little bit of a break after part 1, and now he's starting up part 2 again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did get a chuckle out of. I guess it's not really a spoiler, but like at one point they're like, the name of a demon is means it's strength or something, and they're like, what's the scariest thing? A chainsaw and a gun. I was like, what? I was like, what? You have this like really intensely, like really edgy, built up world, and they're like, gun strong,
gun strong, gun devil strong.
I was like, all right, that still doesn't really spoil anything. It's just it's just a funny bit of like, I was like, what?
Yeah. I've heard things just get more and more intense in the manga as it goes on, though. It's already pretty fucking intense.
I've never watched the show and actually said what the fuck out loud so many times. Just shit happens. You're like, what the
God, and the second half of the manga is just like that.
I believe it.
I
believe it.
Like the last 2 or 3 volumes are just insane. I'm just like, what?
I'm very happy. I'm very excited. Wait, is it 12 episodes they're doing or
12 episodes?
Fuck, man.
I know.
Bring back the 24.
I know. Bring back the 2 core.
I'll take the same ending. Let's just get a few more episodes in. Come on, that's like a whole episode of animation we can do. Come on, let's get more episodes. I don't need the ending every time. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope we don't have to wait too long for another season because
I think we are.
This
I think we are.
It's been a while since I've watched the show, and I'm like, 12 episodes. That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. 12 episodes.
I've never been bricked up through the entire show like that before.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
from start to finish. Like the food. I'm rock solid when they show food in the show. The food looks so good.
That's the map effect right there.
I've never been more fucking bricked up watching a hand-holding scene.
Dude, right?
Holy fuck, man. Like,
I know.
talk about like awakening something in you. I'm like, I thought this was a meme. I thought hand-holding hentai was a meme, and they actually fucking made it a thing.
Dude,
Every character has awoken
I-
something in everyone.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that they've managed to make a character who is that horny likable. I figured anyone that horny in real life would in any show, normally if a character is just super horny, it's like Meliodas.
Yeah.
I fucking hate them.
Yeah.
They fucking suck.
But that's the thing that's what another thing with Fujimoto that I think is genius is that like not just Chainsaw Man, but everything he's written, every character is an absolute piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's somehow able to turn these absolute fucking detestable piece of shit characters likable.
Well, it's like in real life, right? Most people are great. Like most
Yeah.
people do bad things, so they do
Yeah.
good things, right? So it's like if you can kind of channel that, and I feel like that's where it's doing that great. Like it so far, Chainsaw
Yeah.
Man, all the characters don't feel like they good, bad, hee tee hee. It's like, all right, you know, they're a good
Everyone
person,
is
but maybe they got a lot of
inherently
problems.
bad, yeah.
Maybe they're a bad person, but they do some good things.
But
and
I've also seen a lot of anime where they just like they try and make like a purposefully like
Yeah.
shitty character, right?
Yeah,
To be
oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay, you know, all the edgy people are gonna enjoy this one,
Yeah.
and then it just ends up being extremely annoying.
Yeah, I mean,
'cause-
this could easily be like a Mirai Nikki situation,
Exactly.
where it's like, haha, edge and
Yeah.
good
Could.
swords.
Haha, everyone is shitty.
Yeah,
lol.
everyone's horny, and we're all gonna stab each other, and it's like, all right, well,
But
all right.
it's kind of like I think he strikes that perfect balance where he pretty much every character in Chainsaw Man is kind of like an asshole. In
Yeah,
like a different
absolutely.
way. But
Yeah, in their own way.
it's like an entertaining asshole.
Well, because they're all trying to survive, right?
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, how would you act if you had to survive?
Yeah.
And in this world that is very fucked up. For
Yeah,
sure.
like I
And
remember
horny.
I remember the scene where they were all like trapped in the building together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just fucking chaos. And I was just like, it feels like watching a scene from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. No way.
Yeah, yeah.
The gang tries to escape.
Yeah, the gang tried to escape from
that sounds like a really good edit. That sounds like a good edit.
Because it was just like, why am I having such a good time just seeing these guys try to survive? It's
And they're all bitching and complaining and whining.
They're in like a life and death situation, and they're just like, it's just fucking bants, man.
Just when Denji's like, I'm going to sleep. It's just like, I fucking love that scene. It's like, bruh.
It was that scene where one of the girls like freaking out, and then
Oh, yeah.
Power just like starts like burst, like full on bursts out laughing, and I was just like, what? It's just fucking,
So
it's a
good.
fucking riot, man.
So good.
Oh, it's been a long time since I've been this excited for an anime.
Good.
I just hope they don't give me a reason to ever dislike the show. So far, I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
To be honest, nah. I mean, even the second half, as chaotic as it gets, like
Yeah.
it's just so intense and insane. Where it's just
Cool.
like, of course, this is how it
And
ends.
I think like the complaints about CG that I've seen on Twitter are like so fucking overblown.
Oh,
of
no,
course.
dude. There's like barely any CG, and then when it is, it's like, it's good. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
well integrated.
I think the most awkward looking shots were like in episode one.
Yeah, one episode one.
And then like they still use CG in like other fights, and they've managed to blend it a lot better. But even in episode one, it was like it looked a bit dodgy here and there, like a few shots, but it didn't look bad. You know, I've seen bad CG.
I've seen Exxon. I've seen Exxon. That's bad.
Just watching it, and I was like, "Man, this should be such a different show if it was set in America." I was like,
Wait, what do you mean?
okay, very, very quick, kind of, I guess, light spoiler, not really.
Yeah.
There's like a whole scene where there's a bunch of guns involved, and
Oh,
I was like, they were like, the superpower is gun. And I was like, well, yeah, I guess that makes sense,
that
right?
makes
That
sense.
makes sense. And I was like, this is in America. This would be really different by now. This would be a really different show.
Every American be like, my superpower is gun.
There was literally like a scene in the other. He's like, everything, gun beats everything, and I was like, well, yeah, that's kind of
Like,
true.
true.
Yeah, that's true. I was like, yeah, that's
Americans be like,
America's like, I love this show. This makes so much sense.
Finally, they get it.
It just made me. I had to like pause and like laugh for a little bit. Like, then I continued. I
If it was in America, the story would be over in chapter 2. It's like, oh, your superpower is gun?
Yeah,
Same here.
They're like, wait, I thought handguns were illegal in Japan. It's like, da da da. Miniguns are legal in Texas. This finna will be 12 episodes in America, dude.
Oh my god, no.
It was just fun. It was just a good time. It was just fun. It was fun.
Oh my god.
Because so many shows in anime are very much saved by the fact they're set in Japan because there are no guns.
Yeah.
If they were in America, could you imagine if My Hero Academia was set in America? It's like, go save him, Deku. Oh shit, he's got an AK.
Fortnite be like,
Oh no, Bakugo was shot by a Barrett 50 caliber. He can't recover. Like, yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, literally Fortnite.
literally Fortnite.
Literally.
Oh my, I'm here.
It just made me realize how many shows are more believable in terms of realistic somewhat because they're set in Japan. It's like,
Yeah.
you get away with this because you're in Japan.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need a superhero organization if it was in America.
Could you imagine Death Note if there was just guns as well? Like if there was more guns, like Al just had a gun the entire time. I feel like it would have been way shorter. Like, no?
It's like, oh, you're Kira? Pop!
Yeah, right? I feel like so many, it just made me realize how many shows could have been quicker if there was guns.
Yeah.
Basically, you've just like erased every shonen from existence.
Kuroko no Basket, but he has a gun. Because it was very. I watched. Obviously I've read all of the parts of JoJo except for the last part. And I was rewatching Stone Ocean, and I remember I was like, oh yeah, there is a whole part about lynching in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's. And I was watching it, I was like, this is weird watching this in Japanese with like an over-the-top narrator narrating about how somebody, how about like racial tensions in Florida. I was like, this is really weird to watch. And I was like,
I remember that scene.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
There's a character's whole backstory where a character, was lynched and it was talking about how racist. And it was really odd because the narrator narrates about racism in Florida and it was very weird seeing them, how they handled narrating it in
Japanese.
Yeah, because it was, I can't remember how they did it, but I remember it was a bit odd. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's one way of mentioning how it all works. That is what happened.
Yeah, that is what happened.
It was just kind of like a normal anime thing, and then it goes, but did you forget that this is 1980s Florida and there's racial prejudice? It's like, whoa, Araki, where is this coming from? What the fuck?
Araki watched 12 Years a Slave and was like, oh, I'll have that.
Like it was just like funny plankton go hee punching, and then it just goes straight into that, and you're like, what the fuck?
It's like a documentary.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, whoa, Araki, and just seeing it animated just reminded me like, oh yeah, this is set in America.
Yeah.
They really wanted to use that setting here. That was all right. Okay, all right. A bit intense.
Yeah, because like every time I've seen like portrayals of like say like racism in anime and manga, it's always
tough. It's always tough, right?
It's always tough, and especially like seeing like JoJo Part 6. We've seen stories portrayed, in Western media and something, and I feel like there's like a kind of like it's powerful, but it's also, if it's set in the modern day, it can be like subtle as well. But every time I see it in fucking anime and manga, it's always the most in your face. Look at racism. This is racism.
Well, I think because like if you go back and look at movies of like 2000s and 90s, that was kind of how. A lot of these big Hollywood productions were kind of portraying racism. It's like, look, we can solve it with a movie and a good speech. Like it's fixed, you know? And I think that kind of whole way of looking at it was kind of, because obviously the conversation isn't nearly as prevalent here in Japan. I think so that kind of way of viewing it and talking about it was kind of taken into how anime does it.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's just flat out racist in anime. Like Gantz. That shit was weird.
Yeah.
Like, that happens in anime sometimes.
My favorite is the last arc in iShield 21.
Oh.
That one has aged so poorly.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's very
not
yikes.
Good. And
it's very yikes.
ashamed because it's like, damn it, like
It's such a good arc. If it wasn't for that,
obviously, like this stuff was written at a time when this was barely a conversation in the West.
Yeah.
Like Stone Ocean was written, I think, early 2000s.
Yeah.
2003.
2003,
Right,
4,
and like
yeah.
this conversation was like, you know, barely started in the Western world.
Yeah.
And then now looking at it through our modern lens of how we view it and how we
Yeah.
talk about these topics, it's like, oh, yeah, that's a bit, oof. Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the yikes,
it's
yeah.
it's like the way. Okay, by the way, it's not bad in JoJo, right? It's just like you're reading it or you're watching it and you're like, it is a bit like weirdly shoved in.
It's
it's a bit shoehorned in.
It's it feels like it feels very
Comes
in
out of
your
nowhere.
face.
It comes out of
You know,
nowhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really. I remember watching the episode and I was just like, wow. I thought
Wait,
I was watching.
have you read the manga?
I haven't read the
Well, so you
manga.
didn't know that was coming?
No.
Oh, I knew it was coming, and I was still like, oh my god, I got whiplash
Yeah,
again.
yeah. So here I am watching JoJo Part 6, watching a fucking stand battle, getting into it, and then suddenly racism. I was like, what? JoJo, what the fuck?
Oh my god.
Because it was narrated as well, and the narrator talks about it in a very weird way. I felt like it was very I don't even know how to describe it. It was just odd. It was odd.
Yeah.
I was watching it, and I didn't even know it was happening, and I was like, "Yep, this is as weird as I remember it being.
Yeah.
This is a bit odd."
It's really weird that the two big portrayals of racism in anime and manga that I remember, one is now like JoJo, the other one is like domestic girlfriend.
What?
What?
Yeah, because there's an arc where one of the girls goes to America to go.
Was it Mommy or whatever her name was?
It's Rui.
Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking of Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, you think
Yeah.
it's so she goes to America to go learn how to be a chef and be a cook.
Okay.
And she goes to America to culinary school, and she the best way I can describe it is she encounters racism, and it's not subtle racism at all. It's very, very in your face. It's almost pretty much the same level of what I saw in JoJo, and it just put things into perspective of me. It's like it's really good that there are these portrayals in anime and manga.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah,
It's
it just also
It's very jarring.
it's very jarring considering what the stories I've seen told in like Western
Especially
media and
domestic
films.
girlfriend.
Yeah, in domestic girlfriend.
She's like,
yeah.
this is like, it'd be like watching a Thomas the Tank, and then suddenly it's like hardcore racism. It's like, whoa. It's like we don't talk to the cars, Thomas. We don't fuck with those.
it was so jarring, and I just was not prepared for it, and I wouldn't even call it like subtle either.
Yeah.
But at least it's happening. At least it's happening.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not trying to be like, no, these conversations can't happen in anime. It's just like I think sometimes it needs to be implemented a little less
subtler,
jarring,
little more
in a way where it
less-
doesn't feel like there was nothing in JoJo even remotely about like racism at all or any of those things, and then boom, they just throw it in there. It's like, whoa.
And it only happens once.
Yeah,
too.
it just happens once. Never comes up again. It's like that was it.
Yeah.
But it was like, I mean, for the characters, it's a big thing, and I like the character, and I like how that all worked into it. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But it was cool. I like JoJo a lot.
Like,
so,
racism.
I like it when anime tries to go into this stuff and tries to be more mature.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh, it was
it's
an
just-
eye shield as well, wasn't it?
well,
Well, Ice Shield did it in a way that was very not cool.
Yeah.
No, that
yeah.
wasn't cool. I'm trying to think of like, yeah.
There's just some. It's just like, okay, come on, let's have more characters. Like, like I see. A lot of people are like, no, I don't want any diversity in my shows. I'm like, yeah, dude, fuck it. Yeah, let's have more diversity in the show. Like, if it lends to the story well, let's fucking do it.
If it's not jarring to the story and you can implement it in a way that seems natural, then hell yeah, I'm all
like,
for
Ice
it.
Shield 21 was just like, dude, it is a black guy playing sports. He must be amazing at them. It's like, what? That is not how you introduce a character. That is not how you introduce anyone. Flat out.
I think it was just the fact that they basically gave him a superpower, and his superpower was the fact that he was black, and I was just like, what? Eye Shield, what are you doing?
It's just
man?
like that meme of like the guy with his like smiling and then his mouth drops. It's like, more diversity in anime.
Yeah.
Oh, I found out why there's diversity in anime. Oh no. I feel like there's you could make some really fucking cool stories with it. Just be like better with it. Like don't just do it. Don't shoehorn
Don't shove it in. Don't shove it in viewers' faces.
Just in a racist way.
In a racist way. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, it's cool, if we see these kinds of like portrayals because it means like there is some kind of conversation happening in Japan.
Yeah.
It just, seeing
It'd be cool to have that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just seeing it. You obviously see that the conversation is like not as like far flung as what we've had in the West.
No, because in Japan, it's not so much about like targeting a specific race. It's about targeting all races that are not Japanese.
I see
essentially.
a lot of time when people complain that there's not enough diversity in on anime and stuff. I see a lot of people like, well, it's for Japanese people. They're, what do you mean? What do you expect for them? And it's like, I mean, yes, Japan is very homogenous, but it's not like there's no diversity.
No, of course
it's
not.
Like pretending like other like ethnicities don't exist here. It's just flat out wrong. Like, Joey is a Hafu. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's straight up just not true.
Yeah.
They always say like it just doesn't exist in Japan, or it's
I
for
think
Japanese people.
that's the problem. It's like it's such a small minority even in Japan, and I think in the eyes of like the manga and anime industry, it's just like, oh, okay, we know they exist, but are they a market that reads manga and watches anime?
Yeah.
We don't know. So instead of just pertaining to the 1%, let's try and just make the 99% happy. And it's like, okay, yeah, you can do that if you want, but then you're going to start running into problems like iShield did.
Yeah, I'm not saying just start shoving it in like crazy to meet quotas or anything like that, because that has clearly not been a solution anyway. It's like, if the story lends well to it, let's fucking do it. Because if it makes sense, right?
Like, just like a pattern I've seen in all of these things that we just mentioned is that, does the anime or manga have an America arc? You don't need to put racism in it just because it's like, has an America arc.
You do. Manga artists need to understand racism exists outside of America as well.
Yeah, like,
it's not exclusive to America.
It's an American exclusive product, dude. Chainsaw Man would be way more racist and have more guns.
Oh my god!
What a great way to end Trash Taste episode, eh? What a great topic.
Laughing about racism. You gotta love it. Hey, but look at all these patrons right here. They don't laugh at racism.
What the fuck? What is that?
Right, guys? I bet you don't.
Yeah.
And
guys,
hey,
racism bad.
Racism
bad.
bad.
I just wanted to say racism.
Wow, what a hot take.
Racism is bad, guys.
But hey, if you'd like to
bad.
support this show, go over to our Patreon, patreon.com/trashtaste. Also follow us on Twitter, send us your memes on the subreddit, and if you hate our face, listen to us on Spotify. What a great start to 2023.
We'll see you guys in the coming year.
Yes.
All right. Bye.